Now we'll start with the PPT. What you're seeing over here are the frequently asked questions regarding Power BI and some introduction part that we require to understand what is Power BI and how it works. Now going on further, the first thing that we see is the Magic Quadrant. Gartner is a very reputed organization which is normally giving a rating or performing analysis in a basis where they can mark the best tool in the market in different domains. In this particular domain, or business intelligence to be precise, Microsoft is one of the leading organizations thanks to Power BI. As per Jan 2023, if you see, Microsoft Power BI is one of the most leading organizations that you can see in the quadrant. In the same manner, this history was repeated in June 2024. You have to understand that Microsoft is just a tool that was introduced approximately 10, 11, 12 years approximately back. Okay, it was formally introduced in the year 2013. From 2013 till 2025, Microsoft has been able to lead the market, coming from a domain where they were not very rich with experience to a domain where they are one of the best in the market. So you can understand the journey. You can understand how much effort or how much good the tool has to be, right, in order to lead a particular market. So this is something that is a very important thing. Now, why did we present this PPT? To show you that the tool that you're studying is of high importance. It's an important tool. It is something that you should understand is working for you. And when you're learning this particular tool, it is a lot of emphasis for you in the coming future. Now, going on further, we have some average salaries from different job roles. Now, mind you, if you're good at something, sky is the limit. These are just average salaries that we have mentioned. For a Power BI data analyst, you can earn up to 6.5 lakh per annum. If you are a senior data analyst, you can look somewhere around 10 lakhs per annum. If you are a Power BI analyst lead, you can earn up to 16 lakhs per annum. So you can understand somewhere or the other how important this particular role is and how rewarding this particular work is. Again, this is just average figures. If you're good at something, sky is limit. Now, going on further, the first question that comes up is, what is data visualization? Now, if I say it in simple words, when I'm presenting an information, when I'm presenting a data in the form of visuals, it's called as a data visualization. So art of converting raw data into visualizations can be termed as data visualization. Now, there are two terms that are very important over here. The first one over here is art and second one is science. Our particular data visualization is a combination of both art and science. How? If I say that data visualization is art, I somewhere or the other mean that it has to be attractive. It has to be soothing to eyes. It should be something that clears the picture. It should be having good clarity. Clarity is one of the most important principles. If I'm able to like something, there has to be a very big factor on visuals. Now, human is very much attracted towards this part. If I say in general sales also, they will always concentrate on the packaging of the product. If the packaging is good, there are huge chances that your product is going to sell. Over here also, same thing is happening. So the combination of both art and science. Science, how does science come over here? Whenever I'm dropping a visual, you have to understand that there is a logical reasoning behind it. There is a proper study behind dropping a visual. I'm not teaching you to drop bar charts or line charts without knowing what you're doing. There's a logical reasoning. When you're dropping a visual, there has to be certain factor or certain reason associated. So it's a combination of both art and science. You are putting beautiful reports, you're putting attractive reports with good clarity, with a logical reasoning about every particular visual that you have dropped over there. So that is what we mean when I say that data visualization is a combination of both art and science. The goal of data visualization is to communicate information clearly and effectively to the end users. Now, going on further, If I ask you over here, how many threes you can count? Pretty difficult, right? Counting the number of threes in these in these particular numbers is quite difficult. If I go further and I ask you how many six you can count, even more difficult. When I present this information as a visual part, it is easier to understand. If I tell you in simple words, human brain is more receptive to visual information. What does that mean? Somewhere or the other, from ancient times, the carvings on the caves still make sense to our generation. Why? Because we are able to understand the visual aspect behind it. So our brain is more receptive to visual information. You can see over here, counting the number of threes, right? I have 5 3 over here, much easier. Same way, if I go to the next part, it is easy to count the number of 6 also. Why? Because again, the same factor comes up over here. Now, going on further, it is said that visual data helps us to think and communicate. As mentioned, a picture tells a story better than 1,000 words. If you see over here, I have a report. I have KPIs at the top, right? You can see all the KPIs are coming up at the top. We have slices at the left and we have visuals over here. What I mean to say over here is that because there are proper KPIs, proper slices, a line chart and a time series analysis, proper bar charts, our end user or our business owner will be able to take better decisions out of it. So what I mean over here is that decision making is easier, decision making is better and smoother. Same information, if I present him in the form of Excel sheet or tables, it is difficult. See, it's not impossible because till now people were doing this thing. So it was not impossible to do that. The only difference that has happened over here is that visual representation made it easier. Visual representation made it more apt, more exact. Because we had multiple sorts of visual to show an information, the decision making became more concrete, more firm on that part. We could perform forecasting, we could do analysis. So all these factors have made the top end decision making much more easier, and that's the reason companies are investing huge amount of money on on data analysis, because they want the data that they have collected in the market to be churned. They want it to be analyzed and they can get better decisions in the market. They can earn more profit in the market, more better customer acquisition, better foothold in the market.
Just a quick note, Analytics Vidhya has 100 plus free courses from beginner to advanced on topics like machine learning, generative AI, agents, etc. Complete with certification. Click the I button to explore now.
Now, going on further, the question that comes up over here is, what is business intelligence? Now, you can see over here, there is a very big definition that is mentioned. Now, I'll not be reading this definition, I'll try to explain you this part in much more easier manner. So what we'll do, we'll go to the first slide over here. Now, take an example. One of my friend wants to start a toothpaste brand in India. Now, he's saying, Dhruv, you are a data analyst. Can you do a market research for me? I'll say I can do a market research, but nobody still knows about your product. No idea, no sort of market acquisition right now. How will we tell the people, or how will we question the people about the product? In this case, what we will do is we will take data from his nearest competitor. The market or the region that he's concentrating at, Pepsodent is his nearest competitor. So I've taken past 10 years of data of Pepsodent and I'm trying to analyze. Now, mind you, if I would have given these 10 years of Excel sheet directly to the end user, it would be difficult for him to take a decision. Or maybe he would have been disoriented. But when I present proper insight to him, I tell him what is the market share, what are the advertisements like. They are concentrating at family in totality. They are looking towards a particular segment. What region are they prevalent at? What time of the year they have best sales? When I tell them these factors, somewhere or the other, it plays a very important role in their decision making. I can also tell them what market share they hold, right? Decision making will help them that what advertising policies to look at, what time of the year they have the least sales so they can see the best time enter into the market, what offers they are bringing, what changes did they bring from the Indian market. They can get inspired by these particular factors and create their own strategies and policies, and even decide whether they actually want to invest that much amount of money, that much amount of work onto launching a product, because this is an early analysis. This has no factor on that we have to introduce this product. There could be a call, they can call off also if they don't see a proper supply, if they don't see a proper market, proper share, or proper sort of revenue in this particular field. So what I want to tell you about business intelligence is that the art of converting raw data into meaningful visualization and insight, which at the end helps the business owner to take a decision. A good or a successful business intelligence is marked by a proper decision making. So when a business owner takes proper business decision, then we mark that this particular thing is actually making sense, or then we mark that this is something that is of great importance. So that is what I mean when I say business intelligence. So art of converting this information, which at the end helps a business owner to take decision. Power BI is a business intelligence tool. There are multiple BI tools that we have in the market. Power BI is one of them. Now, going on further in the PPT, you can see over here, these are the targeting markets, these are the sectors. Now, let us understand the role of a data analyst. You must have heard about this term, and you must have seen multiple factors about this term. If I tell you in simple words, the role of a data analyst is to maximize the value of their business by whatever assets they have. It could be different sort of BI tools. Microsoft Power BI is one of them. Now, if I break down these things in very simple terms, that what are the responsibilities that we have for a data analyst? The first thing that we have is that data analyst will pulling data from multiple sources. When he pulls that data from multiple sources, he has to clean that particular data. After cleaning that data, he'll be loading it to Power BI. He will be making data models out of it. So he'll be creating proper models. He'll be creating proper joins of those particular models. Post that, he will be writing calculations, whatever he requires on that part. He'll be building tables, columns required. He will be creating reports. He'll be creating visualizations, applying those calculations. He'll be also responsible for publishing and sharing that report to the client and managing security and timely refresh of these reports. In addition to all these aspects, a business owner will also understand or will also be talking in business terms. A good understanding about terminologies of business around his business, understanding the factors affecting the business will always be an add-on. Why? Because that way he'll be able to interpret the requirement, understand the requirement, and explain them in their own business terms, which is easy for them to relate to. So a good understanding of the business is very important. Also, understanding on-premise database and cloud database is important, so that he can actually take the requirement and understand what is the type of data source that he requires on them. Mind you, he should have good communication skills, because he will be sometimes dealing directly with the client if his particular project manager or lead is missing and taking requirements for them. He should be intellectual in managing that requirements is what I'll say. Now, list of 5 highest paying certification as per 2025 Microsoft certifications. PL300 still stands at the 3rd position. So you can understand, being a data visualization tool, how important this particular tool is, how important this particular tool is currently in the market. So if you qualify a PL300 examination code, you'll become a Microsoft certified Power BI developer. So if you go to the next PPT over here, these are the different certification areas that we have. If you see over here, preparing the data is 20 to 25%. That is the weightage that we are given to preparing the data. Modeling the data is 25 to 30%. That is the weightage that we are given to data modeling. These are the different topics and how much weightage will be given in examination is mentioned. Visualizing the data 20 to 25%. Analyzing the data 10 to 15%. Deploying and maintaining deliverables 10 to 15%. So you can see this is the weightage that I've been given to different topics around over here. Now, once we have understood this thing, we'll go to the next part. These are the overview of data analysis. It is very important. See, I can teach you about how to create a report, but storytelling is something that you have to be good at. Now, data analysis is telling story with data, and I have 5 terminologies that I mentioned over here. If you follow these 5 terminologies, somewhere or the other, you'll be able to create a proper report. The first factor that we have for a good report or a good data analysis is that it should be descriptive in nature. Detailed information about every aspect of the business has to be given. It should be just like a 10-mark question paper. The way you have a 10 marks question paper, what actually happens over there? Whenever I used to get it in my school days, I used to write the entire story. Why? Because that question holds a lot of marks and it means that you have to explain in detail. A good report is something. So take an example. Client has asked me for profit analysis. I will not stop at profit analysis, or I'll not directly come to the question. I will create an overview page. I'll have a welcome page. I will talk about time series analysis, and then I'll eventually lead to a profit analysis report. Why? Because you never know what a particular client may end up with. He may be expecting that, or he may be expecting more now because he has saw potential in his data, right? So adding on to your visualization always increases the scope, width, increases the understanding that how these things have been achieved. So a good report is something that gives detailed analysis of every aspect of the business. Second thing that we have over here is diagnostic. Again, a good report is something that tells us the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, whatever is around the business. It is able to analyze that and show clearly to the end user so that he can make proper arrangements and decisions to either mitigate the risk that are coming or get himself arranged for the opportunities that are going to come in the market. That is what I mean when I say diagnostic. Now, the third factor that we have over here is predictive analytics. If I asked you in simple words, why don't we analyze 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, or 1 year of data? Why is it said analyze 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of data? So, somewhere or the other, if we tell you, right, predictive, finding the trends. In our particular data analysis, what we are doing is we are finding the trends in the data set. We are finding in the month of May, from past 5 years, if there is a loss that is happening, there is a huge possibility that it is going to happen this year. So predictive analytics is all about finding the trends around the business. A good report is something that is able to predict future scenarios or future circumstances, analyzing the previous data. Now, the fifth factor that we have is prescriptive. Doctor has done an analysis. Now he will give you a prescription. When I say that he'll give you a prescription, it means somewhere or the other what should be done to mitigate the particular problem. If in the month of May, from past 5 years, I'm having huge losses or my sales is going down, produce less, export more. If you're producing for domestic market, if you're producing winter apparels in the month of May, then stop producing that thing. Don't produce. Don't go into losses. Try to have stocks for the coming future. So that is how you can have prescriptive analytics involved in your report. Now, prescriptive analytics is required. Why? Because you have analyzed the data, you understand the data, you understand all the aspects around the data. So that is the reason it is required over here. The last factor that we have over here is cognitive. Good report is something. See, at the end of the day, we are getting paid to do proper analysis on data. You have to understand that the end user has a good understanding about his particular reports. He has good understanding about his business and data set. He wants me to give something that is different from norm. He wants me to give something that is different from normal. So somewhere or the other, we are getting paid to create reports that is asking questions that he has not thought about. So when he opens the report, it asks him question that he has not thought about. he has not considered in his particular business plan. That is what, when we combine all the factors together, it can be defined as a complete or a good report in Power BI. So these are the 5 factors. If you follow them, you will be able to create a proper, complete report for data analysis. Now, going on further, the first question that comes up over here, this is something that you guys have been waiting for. What is Power BI? Power BI is Microsoft's business intelligence suite. It is giving the end user the opportunity to create report on Microsoft tool. Initially, see, SSRS was the tool that was handling this part, but now Microsoft Power BI has, you know, taken over this part. It was initially named as Project Crescent in the year 2010 and rebranded as Power BI in 2013. Initially, it was heavily based on Excel's Power Query, Power View, and Power Pivot add-in. You have to understand that the backend or the engine of Power BI is still from Excel, but it has been tuned in a different manner. Excel is more of a data collection and data manipulation tool. Somewhat data visualization is also available, but Power BI is a proper data visualization tool. It's a specialized data visualization tool. It has a specialization in visualization. So you can understand how good or how precise factors will be over here. Both are running on the same engine. So if you take an example of Ferrari, right? There's a brand called Maserati which takes engines from Ferrari. They don't go as fast as Ferrari in the corners. Why? Because the aerodynamics. Maserati is building more on the part of luxury four-door car. Ferrari, on the other hand, is more on the sports car side, much stiffer. So it can go faster around the corners, but this cannot because it's a big sedan that we are talking about. What I mean to say is that their power plant or their engine is completely same, that they have been designed or tuned in a different manner. So that is what is happening over here. Power BI is designed for a purpose, and that is what it is showing over here. So if by any chance you are finding or trying to find difference between the two tools, don't do it because they are different and they have completely different working, and purpose or the end user requirement is completely different in these tools. Now, once you are clear with this thing, the next part that comes up over here is what makes Power BI so popular and why you should be learning it in the year 2025. This is very important. Microsoft, if I say it in simple words, has been a disruptor in the market. Whatever tools that they produce are hit and are ruling the market. If I talk about Excel, you must be hearing the name of Excel from your childhood. If I asked you in simple words, what is the nearest competitor for Excel? You'll say Google Sheets, right? But try to understand a tool 20, 30 years may be old and the market is still empty. You have no serious competition in the tools and capabilities that you have. Obviously, Excel has macros, it has multiple sort of aspects that are involved in it. So, no serious competition, so many years, and people don't even dare to enter your market. Microsoft has disrupted the market. They very well know that from smallest of organization to biggest of MNCs are using Excel. They also know that a person sitting in his home is using a crack version of Excel, but they never hinder that person. They never lock his particular PC or try to stop Excel because they know that this person is our future market. You must have learned about Excel in your in your school, maybe as a computer subject, as a computer topic, right? What I mean to say over here is that Excel is far-fetched. When a particular enterprise tool is being taught in the education system, you can understand how important that tool is. We are all accustomed and we are all, you know, favorable towards the ribbon system of Microsoft. I understand their tabs, I understand what are the values. Microsoft Power BI took advantage of their prior expertise in the market and tried to create a tool which was easy to use. So I teach multiple BI tools in the market, but what I can tell you over here is every tool has its strength and weaknesses. But Microsoft Power BI being a tool that is of high importance in UI, they are very favorable on the part of learning. So if you're going to start or you're going to learn a new visualization tool, Microsoft Power BI is something that is important. Why? Because it is very easy to learn. Once you learn one BI tool, learning other BI tools is not that difficult. So it's easy on that part. Now the UI is simple. They have a very good reach in the market. When people using BI, like when people using Microsoft product will look for some other product in coming future, the nearest tool that they'll be able to think, like when they are looking for data visualization tool, the nearest tool that they can think of is Microsoft Power BI. So you can understand how important this tool is. They not only targeted on this factor, they also had prior expertise in relational database and business intelligence, be it Microsoft SQL Server and Excel, which helped them create a tool that was near to perfection. They are pushing monthly updates on their tool. Now, coming on to their favorability of learning, 60 days of free trial is given on your cloud account, which is extendable up to 90 days. Your Microsoft Power BI desktop is completely free to use, comparing from its competition, which has 14 days of trial and your PC gets locked. Lifetime, you can use Power BI desktop for free on your PC and learn. So these sort of factors have made it very favorable for them to be taught and to be practiced. Even smallest of startups are using it. Now, they didn't even think about the free things. Even the licensing has been revolutionized. They brought per user licensing. What does per user licensing mean over here? If I say over here, I have a very big team, I'm owning a startup, but BI projects are limited. So I'm getting only 5 to 10 people working on my, BI project. As a startup, I cannot afford to buy licensing for the entire team because I have to buy proprietary or premium license over there for my like for my company. Now, what did Microsoft Power BI do over here? They brought per user licensing. So if 5 people are using, and even in future, if only 2 people are using Power BI in my particular organization, I can buy licensing per user, which is a very revolutionary step. You have to understand this made multiple smaller companies to switch towards Microsoft Power BI. So from smallest of organization to biggest of MNCs, Power BI is being used. Power BI also coined the term of SSBI, that is self-service BI. Normally, if I take in case of Tableau, if I have to clean the data, I have to download a third-party tool called Tableau Prep. Over here, if I want to clean the data, what I'll download over here is nothing. Microsoft said that, sir, from loading of data to cleaning it to modeling it to managing the visualization, security, refresh, writing measures or calculation, only one tool. So this is an SSBI. You don't require multiple tools. That also gives the confidence to end user because they're not very comfortable in sharing tools in multiple, ancillary tools. If one tool is being used, they are very comfortable on that part. Obviously, it's a low-code tool. That's your learning. That's the reason you're learning this thing, right? So it's a low-code tool. You have understood that they have a very good market. They have been working onto that part. They are putting multiple updates. So these are some factors which have been important on this thing. Now, going on to the next PPT, we have the modules in Power BI. What are the different modules? The first one that I have over here is Power Query. Power Query is something that is responsible for data cleaning. We will be seeing these modules in the coming PPTs one by one. So first one is Power Query. Then I have Power Pivot, which is the brain of Power BI. We have Power View, which is the visualization part of Power BI. Power Map, which is managing the maps and locations in Power BI, okay, in collaboration to Bing. Data Catalog is more for data management. Data Management Gateway is more for refresh, managing the pipeline between your cloud environment and your local system. Don't worry if you're not able to understand this, I will be explaining you each and everything in the coming part. Power BI Q&A was something that was far before than your ChatGPT. I could ask my Q&A visual to create a chart. So take an example, I can ask them to create a category-wise profit and it would create it accordingly. Then I have the Power BI services account, which is the cloud account of Power BI. So Power BI services account is the place when you refresh a particular report, right? As I refresh, when you publish a report. So end user will not download Power BI desktop. he will see the report on the cloud account of Power BI. He'll go to his browser, log in into his Power BI services account, and if the report is being shared to him, he can see it on his Power BI services account. So these are the different modules that we have in Power BI. We'll go to the next PPT. Now we'll see the different modules that we have in Power BI. The first one that we have is Power Query. Power Query is something that is again a shared tool from Excel. If you see the image over here, you will see data is coming from multiple sources and it is getting cleaned in Power Query. And then we are creating reports out of it. So Power Query in general is responsible for data cleaning in Power BI. You have data flowing from multiple sources. You're cleaning that data and you're creating a report out of it. So the connection part, the managing of filters, changing the data types, adding, merging the data, reshaping their particular data is happening on the Power Query. Mind you, Power Query runs on the module of mQuery language. You should have an understanding of mQuery language to know this thing, but 90% of the work can be done from the graphical user interface. So it's not very important that you should be knowing. So this was initially used with Excel. Now it is used in Power BI. So this will be the initial layer like which the data set will touch before loading the data into Power BI. Going to the next part that we have over here is the Power Pivot. Power Pivot is the brain of Power BI. It is also called as Data Cruncher. Data analysis expression, that is DAX, that is the calculation part of Power BI, will also run on the Power Pivot itself. Again, a shared tool from Excel. We are modeling the data. We are managing relationships, joins, hierarchies, KPIs. We are writing calculated column, tables, measures. So all the calculation part, all the data modeling part, and all the relationships and join part will be handled by Power Pivot. So major processing will happen over here. Third thing that we have over here is Power View. Power View is the place where the visualization part will be handled. So you can see over here, reports layer, or if I say the visual layer, which the end user will be seeing. End user will not be able to see your Power Query or Power Pivot. He will be seeing the Power View. So normally report will be over here, cards will be over here. So reports, visuals, all these things will be visible to the end user, and all the visual representation that is happening is possible due to Power View. Again, a shared tool from Excel. Next thing that we have is types of visualization. Because we are talking about Power View, in the coming time, we will be seeing what are the different visuals that we have in Power BI, how to use these particular visuals, how to use multiple sort of applications over here. So you have stacked bar chart, area chart, pie chart, clustered bar charts, radar chart, scatter chart, waterfall charts. These are all the types of visualization. When to use which particular visualization, which will be guided into the particular Power BI demo that we'll be having, the practical application that we'll see. Now going on to the next part, we have Power Map over here. As mentioned, Power Map is a module in Power BI which is handling the maps, location, city location, state location. This is in integration with Bing. Bing is your Microsoft's own application for managing the maps. It doesn't collaborate with Google Maps. So exact location of a city, the particular latitude and longitude, all it is like latitudes and longitude, everything is possible through Power Map. You have multiple types over here: bubble map, filled map, shape map, multiple visualizations are there. You can see some of them over here. Now going to the next part, we have Power BI Q&A. Again, an important module. As mentioned before, you can ask questions. It is an AI integration. It is learning from your particular inputs. So you can feed questions over there. You can feed. So take an example. If I call orders as consignment, you can feed it to Q&A that orders is called as consignment. And in future, whenever I want sales as per consignment, it will understand that this is the meaning for orders. So I can ask questions and it will create reports accordingly. You could see there is a question that we have mentioned: top geo states by total units YTD. So these sort of questions can be questioned and according answers will be given over here. That's your Power BI Q&A. Next thing that we have over here is the use case of Power BI. Power BI is available in multiple domains. You have Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop, if I say it in simple word, is responsible for the development of Power BI. So whatever reports you are creating as a Power BI developer, you will be interacting with the Power BI Desktop. You have the Power BI services, which is the cloud account of Power BI, and you have a Power BI mobile application also. We'll break this down in the coming PPT. So if you see, first thing that we have over here is Power BI Desktop, used to connect data, transform that particular data using Power Query, model the data using Power Pivot, write calculations over here, create reports, and share the report. So Power BI Desktop in general is that free application that I was talking about. If you are going to learn Power BI, you have to configure Power BI Desktop in your PC. This will be the place where you will be connecting through multiple sources, loading that data into your desktop, and create reports which will be future published to your services account. Now, once we are done with Power BI Desktop, the next thing that we have over here is Power BI Services. Power BI Services, if I tell you in simple word, is the cloud account of Power BI. When you publish a report from Power BI Desktop, it goes to the SaaS account, software as a service. Whenever a particular software is available as a service or as a cloud domain, it is called as SaaS. Power BI lets end user, different users interact, collaborate, share the reports. It also manages the security part and the data refresh. So it will be something that can be used in multiple aspects. It has Copilot integration with it. You can create analysis on your data. You can create summaries on your data. You can manage alerts. You can manage subscription. So these are some parts that we'll be seeing in the coming PPTs. So these are the different sort of interactivity, sharing, security related things that can be done on the Power BI services. Now, once you are clear with this thing, the next one that we have is the Power BI mobile app. Power BI mobile app, if I tell you, is something when the end user is in a hurry and he cannot open the Power BI services account, he can download a mobile app for Microsoft Power BI and see the reports as an app version. And Apple Watch version is also available. So it's available on iOS, it's available on Android, it is available on Windows devices. These enables the user to see the report from anywhere around the world, helps him track his data and helps him give proper sort of goals. So you can create, goal hub on the new page, whether you have achieved the goal or not. You can create alerts over here. You can add scoreboards. So these sort of integration helps him get a competitive report also at the end of the day, and it can help him track his work. It can help him track his inventory. All these aspects can be seen quickly by the end user over here. Now, minimum requirements are mentioned over here. Power BI Desktop is no longer supported on Windows 8.1. So if you have something older, please update it to the latest version. Windows 10, Windows Server 2016 or later should be there. .NET 4.7.2 or later. Microsoft Edge browser because Internet Explorer is not supported and Chrome doesn't give the functionality of Microsoft tools. Microsoft Power BI requires a minimum RAM of 4 GB, though 8 GB is recommended. Sometimes when I run a Power BI desktop, it clocks up to 12, 13, 14 GB also. 8 GB, I will tell you, is what you should consider. Don't go for 4 GB. 8 GB is the minimum requirement that you should consider if you want to work in a serious environment. 16:9 ratio is something that is advisable. Lower resolutions such as 1024 into 768 or 1280 into 800 aren't supported because of some controls. Windows display setting. If you set your Windows text size to 100%, you won't see most of the interaction options. So try to keep it lesser than that. 1 gigahertz 64-bit processor is recommended. WebView 2 is something which is advisable. If it is not installed in your PC, you can download WebView 2. Now, we are expecting that you are downloading the Clyde version of Windows or Windows 10 instead of using Windows Server. Power BI Desktop doesn't support Internet Explorer enhanced security configuration because it will stop Power BI Desktop from signing into Power BI services. So try to close that also. This is it regarding the minimum requirement. You can keep a read of it also and try to keep your PC in the most updated manner so that you can enjoy the functionalities of it. As advised, don't have the RAM less than 8 CP because it won't work for you. This is an installation guide. You can go to download Power BI desktop on your browser and search for it. The first link will be a Windows link. You can open that, or you can go to the link that is mentioned directly over here. This is the download link. We have two ways of downloading. Either you can go to this link and download, or you can go to your Microsoft App Store also. Though this is advisable because normally it maintains the most updated version. Now over here, if you see, you have an advanced option. So Power BI desktop will be displayed at the bottom part. You can see there is an advanced option key over here. You have to choose advanced option over here. In the advanced option, click on download. So when you click on advanced option, a page like this will open up. You have to click on download over here. Once you have clicked on download, you will see PBI desktop x64bit.exe. So you have to download this version. Click on download. Once you have clicked on this version, this will open up these particular windows. So first you'll have welcome to Microsoft Desktop Wizard, which you have to click on next. After that, it will ask you to agree to the license agreement. After the license agreement, it will ask you for the path. So if you want to change the path, you can change the path over here and then click on next. Post that, it will begin the installation. You have to click on install option. Once the installation is finished, you can click on finish over here. After this, you will have a Power BI welcome screen like this coming up. So this is the screen where you can create reports, you can add data and everything. So this start of screen will come up once the installation is successfully done. If any step goes wrong, you can restart your particular installation also. Or it throws any error, you can download the file again and then reinstall it. Signing into 365 account. So if you have a proper business ID, a proper official ID .co.in or .com, something that is an official ID, you can log in into your particular email address over here into your 365 account, and then you will be able to use the cloud account of Power BI services. Mind you, if you're using it for learning purpose, you can use it on Power BI desktop and borrow some ID or use a sample ID for managing the services. Most of the work can be done on the Microsoft Power BI desktop. So even if you don't have the work ID, you can practice on Power BI desktop and easily go for multiple aspects over here. Most of the applications are available over there. Only you'll not be able to publish the report, share the report, or manage the security and refresh. Now, once we are clear with this thing, the next concept. So this was the installation guide. We have to talk about DAX in Power BI. DAX is something that stands for data analysis expression. The way you have Excel functions, in the same manner you have Microsoft is DAX. DAX, as I repeat, is standing for data analysis expression. It is used to perform calculations in Power BI, normally used to create measures, row level security, functions, calculated tables and columns. So whatever calculations are happening through Microsoft library. This Microsoft library was specifically designed for Microsoft Power BI and named as DAX. This is one of the strength of this particular part. If you're good at DAX, most of the interview questions or most of the complications you'll face is over here only. So if you're good at it, your journey to Microsoft Power BI learning will be much easier. Now the Power BI services, as mentioned before, it is the SaaS account. We have talked about it, discussed about this part. Key features of Power BI, it creates interactive reports. It has DAX in it. It has flexible tiles, interactive. Q&A is available. Help and feedback button is available. You can create customizable dashboards. So these are some key factors that will be very important for you to learn Power BI. Now comes the question, how is Power BI better for its from its competition? If I tell you in simple words, Microsoft Power BI has multiple factors associated to it. Cost is something that we have discussed, right? Ease of use is something that we have discussed. It is cost effective due to its per user licensing. It is cost effective because of its free trial options that is available. It has an ease of use because of the Microsoft UI. It has a lot of integration possibilities because Microsoft tools can be integrated with other Microsoft tools. Now, I'll tell you an example. I can create an actual report and take it to my PPT. And that PPT will be completely interactive just the way my report is. This is only possible because of Microsoft integration, which other tool cannot because they are third party tools or they are not belonging to Microsoft certificate, like Microsoft licensing or Microsoft environment. So integration is possible. I can take my reports to Teams, I can take my reports to PowerPoints, and I can take it to Excel. So that sort of integration is possible. Data handling, it has a lot of data repositories that are available, which will be able to give you better scalability. You can get better solutions on that part. Now, important differentiated points. If you see over here, Power BI has been coined the term SSBI, as I mentioned before. Power BI is lifetime free compared to Tableau's 14 days trial. Power BI has per user licensing, which is game changer for small startups. Power Query is normally more functional and stronger than Power Prep or Tableau Prep. Sorry, Power Query is more functional and stronger than Tableau Prep. Those who have basic knowledge of Excel can excel on Power BI because of ease of understanding the UI, and they have a reliability towards Microsoft tools. So obviously they'll go towards that. Costing is what we have discussed. If you see, Power BI is cheaper than Tableau software. Power BI professional version costs $10 per user. The yearly subscription is around $100. Power BI's Premium is licensed by dedicated compute storage resources at the price of $4,995 per month. Tableau is more expensive, where the Pro version comes around $35 per month. So you can understand $25 difference. The yearly subscription costs around $1,000. Tableau Creator costs $70 per month, while Tableau Viewer is priced at $12 per month. If you are a startup or small business, you can opt for Power BI and then upgrade to Tableau if need arises. So you can understand that the initial costing is a big factor over here. User interface, as mentioned before, Power BI has a much easier, intuitive user interface. It is easy to learn and understand. It provides users better operating environment. It is something that they are already familiar with. So it's much easier. Tableau has an intelligent interface that enables you to create and customize dashboards as per requirement. It has an inviting workspace and encourages you to experiment with the data and get result. The workspace has different areas. I can say that it has an edge over the part of functionality, but user interface is something that is better on the Power BI side. These are the different licensing that we have in the Power BI. So we have free per user license, which is the one that you will be using on your trial version when you will be experimenting on Power BI. Then we have a pro license. Then we have premium per user license. Then we have a premium capacity. The factors and the understanding will be given to you in the coming part. You can also see the theoretical aspect of it. What are the different sort of memory allocation? What are the different sort of processes that are given? They are dividing these licensing on the functionality. They are dividing it on space. They are dividing it on number of functionality or storage or the capacity to process. So that is a major difference that we have over here. Top companies using Power BI worldwide. So Power BI is something that is the choice of leader. I am delivering continuous trainings in multiple sort of giants. So many of the companies mentioned over here are my clients. What I'm trying to tell you is that these companies are market leader and they are the best in what they are doing. So if they are switching towards this particular tool, it's a reliable tool. And if you have a dream to join these particular companies, you can definitely go to this particular part. Business intelligence market. So Microsoft currently holds 49% of business intelligence market currently, combining all the tools that they have. You can understand that whatever this thing is, maybe it's only Power BI, maybe it's Power Apps, Power Automate, or maybe it's Excel, SQL Server, whatever you say. These people, when they will have requirement for data visualization, the nearest tool that they'll be able to think of is Power BI. So that is what we are talking about when it comes to the factor. They have ready jobs, they have having a lot of money that is going to circulate in future and many projects in future. This is it regarding the introduction of Power BI. We'll keep it till here. We'll be looking into the hands-on onto the part of Power BI. I'll request you to open your Power BI application. So you can open your Power BI desktop. Now, once you open your Power BI desktop, the first thing that you'll get option over here is blank report. We will click on this blank report option. This means that I'm opening a new report in Power BI. So we'll select the blank report option. What we'll be doing first is we'll be loading data set over here and then try to apply this particular data set. So in this, I'll go to get data over here. So in order to load data from any particular source, first we have to click on get data. Currently, the data set that I'm using in Excel workbook. So I'll select Excel workbook over here. The file that is shared to you, the sample superstore file, will be using the same. So I'll search for sample superstore in my PC. Click on enter. Now, the sample superstore file that you have is a combination of multiple sheets over here. It's a combination of multiple worksheets. So it's a workbook which has multiple sheets in it. Now, when you're loading the data, you can see over here we have the order sheet, we have the people sheet, and we have the return sheet. So you have to manually check on all the boxes. You have to select the orders, you have to select the people, and you're selecting the returns. What we are doing over here is we are taking a data set and we'll create actionable insight out of this data set. So first we'll clean that data, then we'll model it, and we'll create a small report on this data set. So over here you can see order, people, and returns is there, right? Now you have two options below. Make sure all have checkbox ticked. I'm repeating it again. Now you have two options over here. One is load, other one is transform data. When I click on load, it means that I'm blindly loading the data. When I click on transform data, it simply means that I am taking it towards the Power Query editor. So I want to first clean the data and then load it. So in this case, I'll do the same. I will click on transform data. As soon as we click on transform data, I will be directed towards the Power Query editor. So this is your Power Query editor that you have in front of you. You can see we have order, people, and returns over here. Orders, people, and returns over here. Just 1 second. I'll close these things. So this is the exact view that you'll be getting. If you observe the returns table, it has column headers coming on the first row. Returned and order ID are supposed to be the column headers. They are supposed to be the title of your column, but they are coming in first row. Maybe Power BI was not able to recognize them. So in order to push them as the header, you will go to the home tab over here. At the top, you will see home tab. In the home tab, you will click on use first row as header. So as soon as you click on use first row as header, you will see that the column will be shifted to the top. So you can click on use first row as header. You will see there's an option over here, use first row as header. As soon as I click on enter over here, your header will be shifted at the top. Returned and order ID will come at top over here. So this is something that we have done for the returns table. Same thing, I'll go to the people table now. In the people table, if you see, person and region is coming. So we'll do the same. I will click on use first row as header. Person and region is skipped at the top. You can see there are null values that are coming up, right? How to remove that? I will go to the filter option. So this arrow that is pointing downward, right? This is the filter option. I'll check everything and uncheck the nulls over here. As soon as we uncheck the null and click on, you will see all the null values have been removed. You have only people and region coming up over here. So people is coming at the left hand side, region is coming at the right hand side. That problem is fixed. So returns is fixed, people is fixed, right? The next thing that we have over here is our orders table. Orders table, everything seems, the headers are proper. So no need to do any use first row as header over here. there is no requirement. You can see all the values are coming, order ID, everything is coming proper over here. Basic data cleaning has been done. Now, what I want to tell you over here is how to study the data for the first time. It is very important for us to read the data before doing anything. I've taken an example. If I get a data set normally, what will happen over here is they will say, Dhruv, tomorrow we have a data meeting. Before the data meeting, if you have any questions, or before the general discussion of this particular project, if you have any questions, you can bring forward. Now, that initial discussion that I want to do is very much based on how I'm studying this particular data. So now, in order to study this particular data set, what I'll do, I have the order sheet, right? I will go to the view option at the top. We have some features over here. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is how to work hands-on on a project. I'm telling you as per my experiences that how will you see the data for the first time. See, over here, I'm not teaching you to directly draw bar charts or line charts. We are telling you how to assess the data for the first time and how to go forward into it. So in the view tab, you will see something as column profiling and you'll see something as column distribution over here. But I'll turn on column profiling and I'll turn on column quality. Now, talking about column quality, if you see over here, as soon as I turn column quality over here, you can see valid, error, and empty is coming at the top. It helps me analyze the data, tells me that all the transactions are valid. If any error is coming in the data source, it will indicate the percentage of those error. If there are any null values or empty values coming up, that also will be indicated over here only. So that is your valid, error, and empty over here. Now the next thing is when I select, take an example, if I click on ship mode. Now the value distribution that is coming, this is possible through what? Column profiling. Column profiling is helping me understand the qualitative factors of the data. Now data is divided in two parts, qualitative factors and quantitative factors. What are the quantitative factors over here? If I tell you in simple words, my age, my salary, my height, anything that can be measured and you can calculate an average mean median mode of are quantitative factors. What are qualitative factors? You could say my hair color, my skin color, what department I am working for, what type of domain knowledge do I have, what tools do I know. These are my qualities, my qualitative factors. So what I can study over here using column profiling is the qualitative factors. If you see what are the different ship modes and which of the ship mode is the most important one. Now the question that comes up over here is, can I say that standard class is the most selling or most profitable ship mode? Can I comment on that? Try to understand this thing. And this is the distribution in one column only, which means that the value has repeated only in one column. If anybody asks me in general, right, Dhruv, can we say standard class is the most popular, like most profitable ship mode? The first question that I'll ask to that person is, what is the unit price? What is the unit price that we have over here? If I don't know the unit, like I can never comment on the sales or the profit. So somewhere or the other, we don't know the unit price of standard class. What I know is how many times has standard class repeated in these columns. So if I tell you in simple words, standard class is the most popular ship mode, most commonly used ship mode, but I cannot comment on sales and profit. So what I can do from this early analysis is that whenever I'll create a report, I will give special preference to standard class. Why? Because it's one of the most popular ship mode. At the same time, same day, be it getting you more sales, be it getting you more profit, but it is not that popular. So both factors we'll be analyzing, which is the most popular one and which is the least popular one. Standard class is the most popular ship mode, same day is the least popular ship mode. That is how this thing works. Now, once you have understood this thing, we'll go to the next part over here. Now, over here, you can see segments are there. Same thing we can do. Consumer segment. This is something that I make a note of, by the way. I'll take a pen and paper and I'll write this so that in future when I have the meeting, I can tell them their most popular units, their least popular units. At the same time, when I create a report in future, I can indicate the most popular segments over here because they are of prime importance. At the same time, least popular segment. Why? Because that is something that they should be aware of, they should take care of, right? They should be working on it, right? So that is the main thing. So, like this, we will be analyzing state, segment, city, region, which is the most popular region, which is the least popular region, which is the best performing category in the point of popularity. What is the best performing subcategory in the phase of popularity again, not sales and profit. Up over here, if you see, when I click on customer name, you can see multiple customer names are coming. Tracy Blumston is shown over here that she is the most frequent customer. Doesn't matter if she gives me only $5 of sales or $10 of sales, she is the most frequent customer that we have. What I want to tell you over here is that the best performing customer is not the one who has the highest sales or profit, it's the one who is visiting. That is how we are measuring it over here. We are measuring it on the basis of number of repetitions. Now, in the mean of this, like in the middle of this thing, there is a distinct count and unique count mentioned at this particular column statistic. What do you understand by distinct and unique count? Any idea? Now, let me explain you the difference between the two. I'll open a small file for this thing. So if you see over here, I have distinct versus unique count, right? We have distinct versus unique count. I have some names written over here. Distinct means counting each value once. So somewhere or the other, if you repeat 1 lakh times, 2 lakh times, 3 or lakh, like 3 lakh times, doesn't matter. I will consider you once. That is what distinct count means over here. So how to count distinct values over here? I'll count it like this. Ram, Hari, Sham, Ali, Gautam, Venkat. Now Ram is repeating again, we won't count him. Hari is repeating again, Sham is repeating again, Ali is repeating again. Dhruv has not repeated, we'll count him. Ram has repeated, Venkat has repeated. So our distinct count comes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is unique count? Unique is not at all counting you if you are repeating. Distinct said that I will count you once, even if you repeat. I'll count you once. But unique count says I'll not count the repetition. So Ram has repeated, will not count it. Hari has repeated, Sham has repeated, Ali has repeated, Gautam has not repeated, Venkat has repeated, Dhruv has not repeated. So our unique count comes to 2 over here. So this is the difference between distinct and unique. Distinct will count null also, and unique count is unaffected by null values. So that is a major difference, what I can say, between distinct and unique count. Now, once you are clear with this thing, once your distinct and unique count is clear, let me tell you a business scenario over here. It's a very interesting business scenario. I own a shopping complex in Bangalore. Customer ID's unique count is huge from past 3 months. The customer ID's unique count is huge from past 3 months. Is it good or bad, and the reason behind it? Now, when I talk about the reason behind this particular factor, try to understand this thing. If you have a shopping complex near to your home, a basic daily necessity needs, you will revisit, right? At least once in a week or twice or thrice in a month, right? If people have not revisited, unique count means we are not getting repeated customers. Huge unique count is a concern for me because I'm not able to retain my customers. If I have not revisited that place in past 3 months, I don't like the service. Maybe the products are high cost, maybe the storage is not good, customer satisfaction is not good, the staff is rude. There could be multiple reasons. A healthy business is something that has a stagnant unique count and a growing distinct count. You will see Shark Tanks and all these shows, they will always ask you what is your customer retention or how much repeated orders you are getting. That marks your position in the market. Just by telling these two numbers, I can actually tell what is the nature or what is the health of the business. You can see distinct count is 362 and unique count is 120. Distinct count is thrice the unique count, which means we are retaining good amount of customers over here. So it's not something that you should be worried about. Distinct count is 360 and unique count is 120 over here. So once you are clear with this thing, there are multiple other examples that we can talk about. Let me change the use case over here. I'm opening a customer grievances center. So you have Airtel customer care, right? Airtel customer care are something that are not regulated by these people. It's not always company owned. Many times people buy the franchise of it. They buy it as a franchisee model. Now, what happens over here is they'll say, like, I'm a business owner. I don't care about the actual functioning of Airtel and I cannot advise them how to function. If the person is coming over here with a problem, his problem should be resolved. That is the main agenda over here. I don't charge any money from them. Major money is not from the type of money that we are charging them on the same basis. We are earning from the problems that have been successfully resolved and Airtel is paying for us. Now, complaint ID's unique count is passed from 3 months. The question over here is it good or bad? Now, if I break it down, nobody enjoys going to customer service center at once. If my SIM stops working and I go to a service center, right, I'll take maybe a leave from my office or I'll take a break from my office and go over there. I want the problem to be resolved because it's something of prime importance. My transactions, my everything is linked to my mobile number. I would appreciate if the problem is resolved at once. I'll be happy. I can wait for 15, 20 minutes, maybe 1 hour, right? Complaint ID unique count simply means that the problem was resolved at once. In today's world, they will give you an ID and they'll also give you a stop OTP, right? So you have to share that OTP to the service person once your problem is resolved. If the problem has not been reopened again and again and the ID of the complaint has been closed at once, it means that you are doing a good job. So by the nature of the business, you have to understand the factors around it. It is important for you to understand the factors. You have to turn on the mind as a business owner also and think as a customer also. That is how the unique count and distinct count helps us to analyze the early part of our data set. Now, once we have analyzed the data, I will close the column profiling. Column quality I turn it on by default, but column profiling I like to close. This is it regarding the data study. Now we'll go to the part of data manipulation, transformation of data. Now, once we are done with the data study, we'll go to the next part. In this particular part, we will be looking towards how to clean the data source. So I have the orders, people, and return. We will see the transformation that can be done over here. So over here, if you see, I have the returns table. Returns table consists of all the order IDs that have got returned in the process. So these are the specific order IDs that have got returned. All these order IDs are there that have been returned. Now, before going towards transformation, let me give you a basic idea about the data set. Let me give you a proper KT or a knowledge transfer on this data set. If you see over here, the first table that we have is the orders table. Orders table consists of the order ID, the date of order, ship date, mode of shipment, customer details, segment, country, city, state, postal code, all the details. So in general, when I saw order ID, when was the order placed, when was it shipped, what was the mode of shipment, customer details, his postal code address, product details, category, subcategory, product name, sales profit, quantity, and discount, it rang a bell that this is in e-commerce data. When was the order placed? When was it shipped? What was the mode of shipment? Who bought it? What is his address? What product did he buy? What category, subcategory is the product for? And what is the sales profit, quantity, and discount? That is your particular part. Is your orders. Second thing that you have over here is your people table. People table is a data sampling table. Now we'll take an example of Amul, right? Amul is a cooperative society. What happens over there is they will collect milk from all the villages around their factory. Now, whenever a milk truck comes from a village into the Amul factory, they cannot test the entire truck. So what they'll do in that case is they will take a mug and collect the milk in that mug and do some testing on that. They do a small sample on that part. Same way over here, we have a huge amount of data set. We are doing analysis on 4 people who belong to different region. We have a person belonging to West region. We have a person belonging to East region, Central region, and South region. Every person belongs to different regions over here. By this, we'll be able to understand their behavioral pattern, buying pattern, what are their likes and preferences, what type of transactions they are doing, what type of taste they have, what categories are they preferring, what subcategories are they preferring, what products, everything around that part. So what is the data is always the question. Why is data is never a question. The more the data, the better analysis we can do out of it. The third sheet that we have over here is returns table. The returns table consists of all the order IDs that have got returned in the process. In the return sheet, I have all the order IDs that have got returned. Now, once we have understood this thing, I'll do a close and apply. In the home tab, you can see there is a close and apply option. As soon as you click on close and apply, your data will start loading up. You can see in your Power BI report, data will start loading up. All the data set has been loaded. You can see that the orders, people, and returns have been loaded over here. At the right hand side, we have the orders, we have the people, and we have the return sheet. Now, this was the part of loading, right? Now, I just want to make some transformation. I just showed you a basic load. If I want to go back and make the transformation in the data, I can go to the home tab and I can go to transform data. So we'll go back over here. Go to transform data. Now there are some requirements that are coming regarding data cleaning. So we'll go back over there and clean the data. By this, we got to know that how to come back to this option. I'll go to the return sheet over here. So if you see the return sheet, these are consisting of all the orders that got returned in the process. See, we know it very well. Why do we prefer an e-commerce business? Because we always have a possibility of return. If I don't like something, I can always return that thing. So all the order IDs that have got returned in the process are kept over here. Now try to understand this thing. We have the order IDs that have got returned. How do I believe that this order got returned or not? You can do a random check. You can manually select any order ID over here. Copy it like this. After copying this particular order ID, what you can do is you can go to the orders table, go to the orders, go to the orders table order ID, and go to the filter option. Never search on the search bar given over here because it is limited only till some 1000 records and list is always incomplete. Go to text filter, go to equals over there, and in the equals option, place the code that you want or place the values that you want to search for. So I've pasted the values over here. I'll click on. As soon as we click on, I'll be able to mark this transaction that this transaction was actually made by Mark Van Her, right? So this is a legit transaction. You can you can cut the step from here. So what happens is when I do a search, when I do a filter over here, take an example, text filter equals, and I do a search, right? This filter will be applied. Right hand side tracks all the transaction or all the steps that I have done. There is no undo option available in Power Query. You can always cut this option. So when I cut the filtered rows over here, you will be back to normal. Make sure that you do it once you have done the filtering or your data will be loaded for only one record. You can do it twice and thrice and cut this thing to check the transaction or check whether the transaction is legit or not. Now over here, if you see, I have all the order IDs, right? Client is saying, Dhruv, I want to know the name of the people who have returned these orders. I want to know the name of the people who have returned these orders. So in this case, what I'll do is I have the order IDs over here. I will go to the home tab. In the home tab, now what is going at the back of my mind is that order place can only be returned. You must have placed the order, right? At the time of placing this order, right, we have the order ID, right? And we have stored the name, details, everything regarding the customer. You can see customer name is also available over here. If I'm able to establish a relationship between the order ID of the orders table and the order ID from the returns table, stating the same principle, order place can be returned, right? So if I'm able to establish the relationship between the two columns, I will be able to fetch the values over here. So what I'll do is I will go to merge query over here. I'll select merge queries. I'll say that the order ID from the returns table matches the orders table order ID. Again, I repeat, order ID from the returns table matches orders table order ID. You will see selection matches 296 of 296 rows. Now, if you see, right, if you see this part, total rows in the returns table was 296, which means that all the rows from the returns table were able to find their subsequent ordered order ID. So all the returned order ID were able to find their subsequent ordered order ID. That is the reason the relationship was established. So once you have understood this thing, you can see the relationship has been established. Click on OK. When you click on OK, entire table will come up over here. Now try to understand. I require what? I require only the name of the people. I don't want the entire table. See, what I did was I did a merge query. In the merge query, I'll do it again. I'll do a merge query. I'll say that the order ID from the orders returns table matches orders table order ID. 296 rows are matched. Once I will establish this relationship, I'll click on OK. Now the entire table is coming up. We require only the customer name. I will go to this double arrow. This double arrow is called as expand option. So I'll select this option. I will uncheck everything and select only customer name over here. When I select customer name and I click on OK, you will see customer name is coming and there is a proper repetition that is coming up over here. You can see repeated values are coming for customer names. Now, understand one thing. We had around 296 rows. Now it is showing 800 rows. What could be the reason for it? Now take an example. I place an order on Amazon. I put 5 items in my cart and I place the order at once. When I put 5 items in the cart and place the order at once, somewhere or the other, understand this thing. I'll receive an order ID, right? How many order ID I'll receive? Only one. Now you are not at fault at this thing, right? Go to the orders table and see one thing. One order ID that is mentioned in orders table is repeating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And the reason behind it is the granularity of data. Granularity is the lowest level of data. It is called the granular or the smallest level of data. So if you see over here, if you go towards the right, you will see that the transaction is being stored product wise. End user or the business person is storing each and every transaction product. So you can see categories not, like you can see over here, country is not changing, segment is not changing, customer name, ship mode, nothing is changing. What changed was the product name or the product ID. So granularity is the lowest level, and you can see over here, this is the lowest level. You are getting all the product names over here. So product wise transaction is what we are getting over here. Because of this, the order ID is repeating. And this is the reason when I try to bring the customer name over here, they are also repeating. What you can do is you can right click on this part and you can remove duplicates. So when you remove duplicates over here, duplication has been removed. You can double click. and rename it as just customer name. See, oh, there's a mistake over here. This is something that I've done on a part. You can see 247 rows are coming up. Can you see that? 247 rows. What is the reason behind it? Because I removed the duplicates from customer name. 296 values were there approximately. What has happened is, take an example, Kotak Mahindra Bank is there, right? There could be multiple people in the name of Dhruv Singh. If I remove duplicates on customer name, it will throw an error or it will give me a wrong answer, wrong output. Same way, if you're removing duplicates, always remove from the ID column. So we are back to normal. I'll cut so I can cut this step from the middle also, guys. I can cut the remove duplicates over here, delete this step. Right click. Now see, when I remove the duplicate step, you can see we are back to 800 rows. Now I can right click on the order ID and click on remove duplicates over here. So when I click on remove duplicates, the duplicates will be removed in a proper manner. And you can see now it is coming as 296 rows. So this is something that you should remember. Always remove duplicates from the ID column. Now over here, you have the customer name. In the customer name, what I require is that the customer name should come as first name and last name separately. You have a direct functionality in the home tab that is called as split column. You can select the split column and you can say split column by delimiter. When I select split column by delimiter, I am consciously choosing. So delimiter means special signs. Bracket, space, hyphen, whatever you have over here are termed as delimiter. So I'll say split column by delimiter. And I'll mention over here leftmost delimiter. From the left hand side, as soon as you get space, split the column. So when I click on, I'll get the column in two parts, customer name 1 and customer name 2. I'll rename this thing. I'll rename it as first name. And this one as last name. You can see this is named. If you want to go back and check or open the step that you have done, you can always click on the gear icon. By the way, guys, change type was not done by me. It is done by Power BI automatically. Renamed was done. Split column was done. If I want to open this functionality, I can click on the gear icon of this functionality. So if I click on the gear icon over here, you will see that functionality will open over here. We have split the column by space. Leftmost delimiter, from the left hand side I want the first space, right? If I would have clicked on each occurrence, it would have divided into multiple columns. So you can always open the previous step by clicking on gear icon. When I click on the last step, you can see this was the last thing that you did. Split in first name and last name. Now once we are done with this thing, you have the order ID, right? In the order ID, if you observe, right, we have years mentioned in the middle, 2016, 14, 15. Now the client is saying, Dhruv, I want to extract the year out of these order IDs. I want to extract year out of these particular order ID. How will I do that? I can see over here that year is surrounded by hyphen from both the sides. You can see hyphen is coming from both the sides. So what I'll do over here is I will do an extract. I'll say that whatever text is surrounded by a delimiter from both the sides. Hyphen is a delimiter. If text is surrounded by hyphen from both the sides, give me the text. Now again, I'll make a deliberate mistake over here. First thing first, what I'll do is, so over here, I will click on the transform option. I will click on order ID, transform, extract. There is an extract option that is available. In extract, what I'll do is I'll do a text between delimiters. So give me the text that is surrounded by delimiter from both the sides. When I do something like this, it will give me an option that what is your starting delimiter and what is your ending delimiter. Starting delimiter, I'll put it as hyphen. Ending delimiter, I'll put it as hyphen again. So starting delimiter is hyphen, ending delimiter is hyphen. As soon as we click on over here, you will get the order ID. Can you see that? Problem is I have extracted the year, but the order ID got lost in the process. It is a very important column that we have over here. I cannot afford to lose the order ID. So I have to cut this step. So I'll go to my applied steps option. I'll cut the step that I did. Without losing the order ID, I want to extract the text. So this time we will not do it under transform. This tells us the difference between transform and add column. Transform makes changes in the existing column, while add column will create a new column for that change. So in add column also, I have an extract option available. In the extract, I'll say text between delimiter. Starting delimiter is hyphen, ending delimiter is hyphen. When I click on OK, same thing I've done. When I click on OK, it will create a separate column for that particular functionality. The main order ID gets unaffected. You can see a new column has been created. That's the difference between transform and add column. You can rename this thing as year, and you can keep the data type as whole number over here. So you can see this is the whole number that we have done. Once we have done this thing, in the similar manner, I can extract the order IDs last part also. So over here, if you see, I have CA2016 1111682 mentioned. I want to extract the last part of the order ID. You can see 143336 or 145583. I want to extract the last part. How will we do that? I'll click on order ID. I will say extract and I'll say text after delimiter. When I click on text after delimiter, what happens? It will start from the left hand side, right? As soon as you get an hyphen, it will give you the text after delimiter. Now you'll say, Dhruv, if I start from the left hand side, it will give me 2016 1111682. Now many people can say we can do it in 2 steps, right? But try to understand this thing, guys. I have 1 million records and maybe a lot more than in future. The more steps I add, the more processing goes. So I have to do it in minimal steps. Over here, I'll say text after delimiter. In the advanced option, what I'll do is I'll say number of delimiters to skip is 1. So if I do a number of delimiter to skip is 1, it will start from the left hand side. As soon as it gets an hyphen, it will skip that. It will consider the second delimiter. So first hyphen will be skipped because I mentioned over here, second will be considered. You will get 1111682 over here. As soon as we click on, you will get the text after delimiter over here. These are some functionalities that we have done on the returns table. Now I'll go to the people table over here. People table, if you see, has person and region in it, right? I want one more thing. So I know it very well that these 4 people or the 4 person over here have the name from the customer name table or from the orders table customer name, right? What I want over here is from the people table, I want the customer ID also over here from the orders table. I know it very well that these people name have been picked from the customer name in the orders table. Only thing that I wanted is the customer ID over here. So in order to do something like this, I'll go to home. I'll click on merge queries. So in the home tab itself, at the right hand side, you have merge queries option. Again, this is something that we have done. I'll create a relationship. I'll say that the person from the people table matches orders table customer name. Person from the people table matches orders table customer name. Once we have done this thing, it is saying selection matches 4 out of 4 rows in the first table. When I click on OK, entire table will come up. What do we require? Only the customer ID. So I'll click on the expand option over here, uncheck everything and select customer ID. When I click on over here, you will see that the customer IDs will come, but repetition may come up. Always remove repetitions from the ID column. So uncheck this thing and remove duplicates. You have got the customer ID. You can place it over here. Double click and rename it as only customer ID. So now you have a proper structure over here. No need to do anything else other than this in people table. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the orders table. We'll do some transformations over here. If you see that I have a ship mode column, right? Client is saying Dhruv, the standard class that we have over here will not be called as standard class anymore. We'll be calling it diamond class. From the next update, you will get diamond class, but for now, can you replace the value? Now, in order to replace the value, what you'll do is you will right click on this thing and you will see there is a replace value option, simple option available. You select that. You say wherever standard class is coming, I'll replace it with diamond class. So in future, wherever standard class will come up, it will be replaced with diamond class. When I click on over here, it is replaced. So all the values in this particular column has been replaced with diamond class. This is how you apply a replace value. Date is something that is very strong in Power Query. You can extract any and everything from the order date. So what you can do, you can select order date over here. You have to go and add column, obviously, because you don't want to change the order date. So I'll go to add column. In add column, I'll go to the date option. Up over here, if you see, I want to extract the year. Year will come at the extreme right hand side. Again, I want to extract the month number. Month will come at the extreme right hand side. Again, click on order date. Date. If I want the name of the month, that can also be extreme right, it will come up. Again, you will go to date. I want the quarter of the year. So if you select quarter of the year, it will come at the extreme right hand side. You can always check over here. You can see month name and quarter is coming up. Again, you can click on order date. You can extract the day name of the day. Any and everything can be done over here. Week of year, week of month, it can be extracted. Now, once you are clear with this thing, what else can be done over here? We are seeing multiple transformation options. Over here, if you see, I have ship mode column. Now, the problem with ship mode column is that there is no ship mode ID that is available over here. There is no ID column that is available. What I want to do is I want to build a ship mode ID over here. So for this reason, I'll go to add column and I'll show you how to write a conditional column. If ID is available, you can ask the business owner or your data team for it. If you don't have it, you can build on your own. I'll create a conditional column under add column. We'll name this column as ship mode ID. I'll save column name ship mode equals first class. Then output will be given as 10001. Add a clause if ship mode equals second class. Then I'll give over here 10002. Add a clause if ship mode equals, we had named it as diamond class, so I'll name this thing as diamond class. If it is equal to diamond class, I'll rename it as 10003 over here. Last thing that I'll give over here is 10004. There is one same day also, so that will be given as else condition. This is how you can build a conditional column over here. Once you have done this thing, you can click on OK. A ship mode ID column will be created over here. You can change the data type as whole number. You can check the values. All the values are coming up. Once you have done this thing, you have seen how to build a conditional column over here. text related functions can also be done. So take an example, I have a segment column over here. You can go under transform and you can make text related functions. So what you can do is you can go to format, you can convert the entire text to uppercase, lowercase, capitalize the starting of each word. So normally what happens is if I want to capitalize the starting of each word, if Clara Goot is there or you can see Brosina Huffman is there, B and H is capital. Same way if you have two words, it will have the first letter as capital on that. In the format option, you can see there is a trim option. Trim will remove leading and trailing empty spaces. Clean will remove non-printable characters. Multiple times you're loading data from websites and some emojis or something like that comes up, right? So that can be removed. Adding prefix will add the value at the beginning. Adding suffix will add the value at the end. So I'll add the suffix over here. I leave a space and I want that after every segment should be written. So I'll leave space and write segment over here. When I click on this is how it will show up. Consumer, home office, corporate, all these segments will show up. That is how you add suffix over here. So these are some functions that we have seen. Some functions that we can do on Power Query and apply it. Once I am done with all the transformation, I can go to the Home tab and I can do a close and apply. When I click on close and apply, it means I'm done with my data transformation. I want to load the data into my Power BI. So this is something that we have done. As soon as we click on close and apply, our data will start loading up. So whatever transformation or changes were done initially, that will be loaded again. So you can see over here, the data is getting loaded. You have three views over here. So at the left-hand side corner, you can see this is the report view, this is the data view, and this is the model view, where you can see the data model generally. Data view may you can see then in the data view, you can see the tables over here, orders, people, and returns. You can see all the changes that you have done are coming up over here. This is your report view where you can see create your report. This is your data view. This is your data model view. This is it for the transformation. We'll go to the next part. Now, once we have loaded the data, we'll go to the next part over here. Now, we will be building a report over here. Before building the report, you can go to the model view. You can see you have the tables over here. Go to the manage relationship at the top and delete all the existing relationship that you have in your model view. So you can delete the relationship. You can see this relationship has been deleted. You can click on close over here. Now we have the people table, orders table, and returns table over here. In order to establish relationship between the tables, what I can do is I can manage these tables. So I'll manage them like this, arrange them properly. The common column between the orders table and the people table is customer ID. So in order to create a relationship, you'll pick customer ID from here and drag it to this part. This way you can see customer ID over here is linked to the customer ID over here. I'll click on save. You can see this relationship has been created, right? In the same manner, I have my returns table over here. I want to join, so I'll join it on the basis of order ID. I'll drag the order ID from here and drop it over here. So order ID from the returns table is joining orders table order ID. When I click on save over here, this will be saved. You can see this relationship has been established. Now basic column joins we have seen over here. Once I have done this thing, I will go to the report view. The first thing that we'll do over here is we'll design a welcome page over here. So in order to take a welcome page, I will take a website over here. I'll take a new page. I'll take a welcome page. So in this particular part, what we'll do over here is I'm taking a company over here called Halden Heinz. This is a company that is building glass and glass bottles and perfume bottles. We will take it as a client over here and try to build a small report for this one. You can see this is a website, right? I want to follow the multiple UIs that are available, the color coding and everything. So I'll give you a quick tip over here. Take an example. If I want to load data from a website and I want the color code from this website. So take an example. I want the specific yellow that we are using over here. How to do that? You can add extensions to your browser. So you can see I already have extensions over here. I'll deliberately remove these extensions to show you how to add from scratch. Extensions are something that are available in your PC, so you can always download them. Now, in order to add extension, you have to go to the three dots at the right hand side. You can add extensions to your browser. You must have heard about Grammarly as an extension, or Coupons extensions are there. In the same way, we will add a color picker over here. So I'll go to extensions. I will go to manage extension or get extension from Microsoft Edge. When you go to get extension from Microsoft, you will see multiple extensions showing up over here. I'll take a color picker. You can see there are multiple available. You can go to color picker and search for multiple color pickers. I'll take this one for now. I'm taking this color picker. I'll click on get over here. You can see add extension option is coming. I'll add this one. You'll see this is the extension coming up. You can also pin this. So extension will be appearing with this icon on your screen. Once you have added it, you can pin it. It will start showing up over here. Now, if I want to take a color code, I will click on the extension. Normally, extension has an option of dropper over here. So when I click on the dropper and I choose the color, take an example, I click on this color. The code for this color has been saved. You can copy this code, minimize. Now the next thing that I'll do is I'll add this particular page. I'll add the color coding on this page. So first thing first, I'll insert a text box over here. So I'll take a text box, insert it over here. I'll go to effects, background, and I'll go to the color option. So now in the text box that I've added, I will go to the effects option over here. You will see format text box bar coming up. In that you will have effects. You will go to the color option over here. You can click on the color option, go to more colors over here. You will see there's an option to add the hex code over here, the code that we copied from there. So as soon as I paste the code over here, I think it didn't get copied. I'll just go back and copy it. So color picker is already turned on. I'll quickly copy the code from here. Minimize this, paste it over here. So you can see I'm getting the same yellow over here, the one that we had on the website, right? Now, after adding this color, the client is saying that, Dhruv, I want the text color to be in a certain format. So again, I want this text color to be in gray color, that is here, or you have in the logo also certain gray, right? So I'll again click on color picker, go to choose color or pick color using an eyedropper over here. Click on this option and take the gray from here. You can copy the code, do a Control C, go to the text font color over here. So in this option that is floating below your text box, you have font color option. In the font color option, you can go to more colors and paste the code that you want. You can increase the text size. I'll mention over here sales, analysis, report. Once we have done this thing, what next I'll do over here is I want to add the, a little bit border over here. So how will I do that? The text box, you will go to the effect option of this text box. You will see there's an option of visual border. You can turn it on. Go inside that ellipse of visual border. You can increase the width over here. You can even change the color. So in the recent color, I have the same gray that we were using. So you can reduce the width a little bit. You can turn on the shadow effect over here. So in the shadow effect, you can keep the shadow over here. You can add color to this one. So this is your sales analysis report that we have added. Now, once we have done this thing, I can add image to this particular part. So we are designing the welcome page. I'll add an image over here. So I'll go to insert. I will go to image in this option. I have some images in my logo. So insert, again, I repeat, insert, you have an image option over here to insert images. You can go to picture. I'll add this logo first. Style of this image, you will make it as fit. Fit will give you entire background. So one more thing, if you observe over here, this file, like this image is transparent, right? You can go to the general option, effects, and you can turn on the background over here. So this image will become a little more white background now. You can turn on the visual border and shadow effect if you want. Reduce the size of this image. Once I have aligned this thing, I will go to effects, visual border, and increase the width a little bit. Color, I'll keep it as gray so that it gives a small hovering effect. This is your image that we have placed for the logo. Now I'll add a banner on this particular page. So in order to add banner, I'll again go to insert, image. I'll take the image over here. Click on open. Style, I'll make it as fit. And I'll align this thing a little bit. I'm not putting the image in the entire page. Only this much part I've taken. Now this company, as I mentioned, makes perfume bottles and glass bottles for multiple companies. I want the background of this image to come up as my page background. So in order to do that, I'll go to color picker. I'll click on color picker over here and minimize this thing. So we want the specific green. I want a little darker shade, so I've taken this. I will copy this thing, do a Control-C, minimize this part, go to that page background, so click on somewhere blank once, go to formatting option, canvas background, color. In more colors, I will add the hex code over here and reduce the transparency. Canvas background, more colors, paste the code over here. So you can see now we are getting the same background as the image. If you want, you can go to more colors and make it darker as per your requirement. You can move a little bit this particular dot to make it darker or lighter as per your requirement. Now we have designed the layout. See, the main purpose of welcome page is to act as a navigation for other pages. So I'll add this in the same manner. I will go to my insert. In the insert tab, I'll add buttons over here. So we'll go to buttons option. I'll add a blank button over here. So in the insert only, you'll get button, and I'll add a blank button over here. You can see a blank button is coming at the extreme top left corner. We can take it over here. In the style, we'll keep it as the text. I'll mention over here as sales. So I'm just naming random pages, whatever pages may come up in the coming time. So I'll say sales overview. This is an overview page. I can increase the font size over here, make it bold. You can also adjust the layout. Okay, so if you want the text layout, right, as per your requirement, you can adjust the font over here. After adjusting the size of this thing, I will go to general, effects, visual border, and shadow effect. Visual border I can keep yellow color, and shadow effect is the 3D effect that comes on your visual. You can keep that in yellow, so it will give a 3D effect to your visual. This is how the button will show up. Now, once you have designed this thing, you can create a copy of these buttons, align them over here. Now, make sure that your first button and your last button is proper. You can align others with the click of button. So you can control click and select all these buttons. You can go to the format option at the top. You will see there is an align option over here. You will say distribute vertically. When you do that, proper spacing will be done between the buttons. Now again, this is a common mistake everybody does. You also please check this thing. You have to put the name of the button under style. Many people go to general and put it in title. Title will not be there in a button. In the style, you will mention the name. So I'll mention over here. So I'll change the names. Next one, I'll name it as profit analysis. This one I'll name it as time series analysis. We will rename these cards. We have profit analysis. This one I'll name it as time series analysis. This one also I'll rename it as region-wise analysis. So you have all the cards done, right? Now I'll just add some random pages over here so that we can make this thing work. So this one I'll select, I'll go to the action of this button. In the action part, I'll give the type as page navigation and page I'll put it as 2 over here. So it will take you to page 2. Same way I'll go to profit analysis, turn on the action, turn on page navigation over here, and this will take you to page 3. Action, page navigation, and this will take you to page 4. Again, turn it on, action, page navigation, and this will take you to page 5. Now, when you control plus click on this one, it will take you to the second page. Control plus click on this one, it will take you to the third page. Make sure that you do a control plus click over here. This will take you to the fourth page, and this will take you to the fifth page. So that is how the control plus click works over here. You're getting all the values one by one onto every page. One more thing that I normally practice for the navigation part is that I'll keep the logo of the company on every page. So take an example. I'm keeping the logo of the company over here. On the main page's logo may be a little smaller than the actual page. Take an example. Now what I do is these logos, the action that I'll give over here will be again page navigation, and the destination will be back to the page 1. You can rename this as welcome page. So you can double click on this thing and rename it as welcome page. So this could be a welcome page. So now what you have done is you have clicked on the image, went to its action, type is page navigation, back to welcome page. You can copy this, you can paste it over here, paste it over here, and paste it over here. Now what you can do, you can go to any other page, click on this particular logo, you'll be back to normal. Click on this one, click on logo, back to normal. Click on this particular button, click on the logo, back to normal. So this is how the particular navigation works, and this is how you design a welcome page in Power BI. We'll go to the next part now. We'll be creating a page for a client. So what I'll do over here is, I'll adjust the logo first. Style, I'll make it as fill this time. I think fill will not work. I'll keep it as normal. This will have a better layout for a smaller screen. So I'll keep the scaling as normal. We will go to general effects and increase the visual border a little bit. Now, once we have adjusted the logo, you can see that there are lines that are coming. These are called as grid line. These are dotted lines that helps me divide the page in a better manner. You can go to your view tab over here. In the view tab, you can turn on grid line from this option. Grid line helps you divide the page in a better manner. So you can see this is your grid line coming up. Now what we'll do is we'll add some cards to this page. So I'll add some card over here. I'll take a normal card first. This is a card visual, by the way. So you can use visuals from this option available at the right hand side. This is the visualization pane. So card visual we are taking a normal card, mind you. So normally when you add a card visual, you can open the ellipse. So you can see there is order, people, and returns table. I can open the orders table over here. I have all the values inside it. I'll adjust this particular card visual over here and we'll start dropping values into it. So we'll take the card and I'll drag and drop the sales over here. When I drop the sales over here, you can see that the sales value is coming up as 2.30 million. I will go to the format option. So sales has been dropped into the fields. We have dropped it from the orders. You can open the ellipse by clicking on this option. I've dropped the sales over here. It is showing 2.30 million as sum of sales. We'll go to the formatting option. So normally if I want to format the visual, this is the format option. You can select format your visual. In this one, you can close the category label. Category label is the label that is coming at the bottom. You can see sum of sales is written at the bottom. I don't want that, so I'll close the category label. Also, I want to reduce the size of these values, so I'll go to call out value and reduce the size over here. Make it bold. So this is my call out value. Category label I have closed. I have reduced the font size over here, made the size as bold. By the way, guys, Power BI is specific to screens. So you have to find the best fit as per your screen. What you can observe over here is that my cards are of 1 box breadth and the length is around 2 boxes. So you try to follow that same structure, approximately 2 boxes. Now, after adjusting the callout value and category label, go to the general and adjust the title over here. Title I'll mention over here as total sales. So I'll say total sales. We'll make it as bold. Text color will be white again. Background color I'll make it as a little purple, like a little greenish that we had for the company layout. I can increase the size of the text and I can center align this thing. So this will show us the total sales over here. After you close the title, you can go to effects. You can turn on the visual border and the shadow effect over here. So visual border width can also be increased a little bit. You can increase up to 4px. So you can see the card is coming up like this. So this is my card. I have gone to the general options. General options will always hold your titles. It will hold your effects such as background. It will hold your visual border. You can adjust the width. It will have the shadow options over there. After creating one of the cards, you can do a Control-C, Control-V over here. In order to do the Control-C, Control-V, I'll copy paste. You can see over here we have added some cards. As mentioned before, you can adjust the alignment of your card visual by selecting all of them. I've selected the logo also this time. I'll go to the format option at the top. The way we did the adjustment for the buttons, in the same manner, format, align, distribute horizontally. So this is how this thing will be adjusted. Once you have done this thing, we'll rename these values and substitute values inside them. So what I'll do, I'll remove the sales over here, drop profit. I'll remove the sales over here, drop quantity. I'll rename this card. So we'll go to formatting option, general, title. I'll rename it as total profit. This one will be renamed as total quantity. Over here, I'll name it as, so this one I'll take. I'll go to general, title. I'll name it as total cities. So I want to show how many cities am I selling at. So I'll drop cities over here. I'll adjust this one and I'll show total orders received. Now we'll change the values inside them. So in order to go to that option, I'll go to add data option. Remove sales over here. Now in order to count the total orders received, I'll drop the order ID over here. As soon as we drop the order ID is in the form of text. I want to show the total orders received. So in text now, by default, whenever you drop the text, it will show you the first order ID on the card. But I want to show the total orders. So how to do that? I'll click on the arrow over here and I'll select count distinct. As soon as you do that, it will show the value as 5009. Count distinct has been done, mind you, not a simple count. So this will tell me the total orders. In the same manner, I'll select total cities, click on the arrow. Over here again, I have to remove sales, drop city. When I drop city, it will show me the name of the first city. I'll click on this arrow and select count distinct. This is your total orders. This is your total cities, total quantity, total profit, and total sales. We are designing the page in a layout manner. So I'm making sure that we are following the same layout. Just one thing, the background of this card was, like of this image was in gray. I'll make the, visual border. I'll make it as black, so that it aligns with all the cards. By the way, guys, you can copy the formatting. So if I want the card formatting and the logo formatting to be same, I'll click on card. I'll click on format painter in the home tab. You will see a brush icon like this will come. You can copy the formatting. Once you do that, you can see both the cards and the image have the same type of formatting. The border size has been adjusted. Now, once we have aligned all the cards together, top position I give for the cards or the KPIs of my particular business, left hand side I keep for the slicers. So I'll take a slicer visual over here. You can see this is the slicer visual. In the slicer visual, what I'll do is I will put the slicer like this. I'll drop the values one by one. So first I'll drop order date and I'll convert it into hierarchy. So this will show a date hierarchy over here. Again, I repeat, I'll drop order date, right? By default, when I drop order date, it will show each and every date. When I convert it into hierarchy, it is easier to filter the data. You can see over here, it is coming in year, quarter, month, and day. If you see in the data also, user can choose year. Inside that year, he can choose quarter. Inside that quarter, he can see months, and you can see the values inside it. So that is how the entire thing works. Now you can copy the formatting of the card over here. One more thing, go to the format option of this thing and close the slicer header. You will see in the formatting option, slicer header. I don't want the slicer header. I will go to general and add a title over here. I'll put the title as date. We'll reduce the size of the title. I don't want it to be as big as the card. By the way, the 2014, 15, 16 that is written inside it is under visual. So under visual, if you adjust the value size, you can adjust the size over here. These are the value sizes that we have. Once I have done this thing, I'll do a Control C and Control V. Place it over here. Now, after removing the order date, I'll put some more slicers over here. First one I'll put over here is category. Third one that I'll put over here is region. Last one that I'll change over here is segment. Now I'll rename this thing. So I'll go to formatting, general, title. I'll rename this one as category. This one I'll name it as region. And this one I'll name it as segment. You can go to values and reduce the size of the segment bar so that it comes up entirely. Last thing that you can do is you can control click and select all these things. Go to format, align, distribute vertically. So this is how you can adjust this particular part. Any questions on this thing? Now, once we have done this thing, you can see that date is coming, category is coming, region is coming, segment is coming up. I'll create visuals also. We want to populate the page in a better manner. So I'll add visuals over here. So in this particular part, first thing that I'll do is I'll start with the clustered column chart. So we'll take a clustered column chart over here. As we mentioned that this is an overview page, so I'll give a basic overview. Now, whenever you're creating a visual, quantitative value always goes in the second box. So take an example, if I want to create region-wise sales. The region is a qualitative value. It will go in the first box, and sales is a quantitative value. It will go in the second box. So quantitative value will always go in the second box. So I'll drop the sales over here in the second box. The region goes in the first box. You're getting the region-wise sales. Formatting, if you want to copy, you can click on the card, click on Format Painter and apply this formatting. You can see sum of sales by region is coming up. Now over here in this particular bar chart, currently what you can see is just region-wise sales. You'll say, Dhruv, this is like a normal bar chart. What is new about it? In order to make it clustered, I have to add a legend. So I'll drop category over here. As soon as I drop category, you can see a change over here. What exactly happened is, initially, I could see each and every region sales, 7,25,678, like this, we could see the values. Now, as soon as I dropped legend, so when I drop category over here, what happened? That's 7,25,000. Take an example, I'm a particular business owner who deals in these three categories: furniture, office supplies, and technology. What is the contribution for furniture? What is the contribution for office supplies? And what is the contribution for technology? That is being shown over here. In each and every particular region, every particular category contribution. So legend is the definitive factor. Initially, I could see only region-wise sales. Now I can see region-wise sales as per category contribution. Obviously, slicers are available, so you can select regions, you can filter out the data. According to that, your values will also get filtered. Now I'll just adjust the title. It is coming as sum of sales by region and category. We will adjust that. I'll go to the formatting, general, title, and name it as sales by region and category. Now what else do we have over here? Let us see the formatting options that are available on a bar chart. So I'll select the bar chart. I'll go to the formatting option. You can see X and Y axis is coming up over here. We can adjust that. So X axis is over here. I can open that. I can adjust the sizing over here. I can make it bold as per my requirement. I can change the color to black over here. So you can see this west, east, central, and south have become bold. You have the title for X axis also. The title is that region that is written below. So if you open the title, you can make it bold. You can increase the size over here. This is your title for X axis. Can be adjusted. Now you can close the X axis. You have Y axis option over here. Again, in the Y axis, don't touch the minimum and maximum range because you will make it as static. Let it be dynamic. You can adjust the values over here. So you can go to Y axis values. You can make it bold. You can adjust the sizing. You can see currently it is coming as 0.0 million, 0.1 million. Doesn't make any sense if I say values like this that I have 0.02 crores in my account, right? Doesn't make any sense. So in that case, you can adjust the display unit. So in your y-axis, you have values option. Inside that, you have display unit. You can keep it as none. If you keep it as none, it will show 0, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh accordingly. If you keep it as thousands, this will show as 0K, 100K, 200, 300K accordingly. If you show it in millions, again, it will show in the same format. So I'll select thousands for now. I have title available for y-axis also. Again, I can keep the title as bold at least. So this is my x and y-axis adjustment. Once I have done this thing, the next thing that we have is legend. Legend denotes what color stands for what. Furniture is light blue, office supplies is dark blue, technology is orange. How to adjust that? You will go to the legend option. You can adjust the position to top center. This will come like this. Text, you can make it as bold. You can increase the font size. color, you can keep it as black. So this is your legend over here. So I've aligned it at the center over here. I've increased the font size a little bit. Now, once we have done the legend, what next do we have? Gridline is something that we'll do in the visual gridline and zoom sliders. We have columns over here. Column, I will keep the series as all in the beginning. In column, you can see there is a border option available. So when you turn on the border option, you can see in like outside of every column, you have a border over here, gray border coming for now. You can keep the border as black also. So it will show black borders on every particular column. You can increase the width of that border also. This is how it will show up. What else can we do over here? Now let us go to each and every series. So abhi series was all. I'll make it as furniture. In furniture, I'll keep the color as light blue over here. So we can do that. I can change the series to office supplies. Red, green and yellow, they denote a certain market condition. Other than that, you can use any color of your choice. I'll put a different color over here. Office supplies, then we have technology. Technology, again, we'll select a color. You can always go to more colors and play around with colors over there. Now, once you are done with these colors, the next part that we have over here, I'll close the column option. I have a data label option. Data label will indicate what is the sales for each and every value over here, 253, 220. So over here, if you see 252, 612 is converted to 252, 253. If you want to show the exact value over here, you can go to data label. By the way, guys, you can change the alignment over here. You can keep it as vertical also. So if you want to show it in vertical format, you can see values shown up over here. You can keep the value as bold. What I prefer is that I keep the text. So inside this data label only, you have a value option over here. In value, I'll keep the text color as white. And what I'll do is I will go a little down and I'll see background option. In background, if I turn it on and reduce the transparency, this is how it will show up. So I'll get a better clarity of each and every value. So I have gone to the background. I have reduced the transparency to 0% and color is black. So this way we can see the values clearly. If you want to show in 253K, like if I want to show, take an example, 252,612.741, like is what I want to show. If I want to show the exact value over here, what I'll do, I'll go to display unit and I'll make it as none. So none, after making none, you will see a lot of decimal places are coming up. That is decimal places that is coming up. You can just go below that and you can say decimal places to show is 0. Now you will see exact value will be shown to us 252,613. If you keep it as 2 decimal places, take an example, it will show the exact value 252,612.74. So that is how you can add values over here. We are showing values up to 2 decimal places. So this is how the values are coming up. You can close the data label. There's one more part that I like to add on. If by any chance I want to add a currency, I can always do. Just give me a second. So you can see over here, what I did was I went to the sales at the right hand side. You can see sales is coming up over here. I can select that. When I click on sales, the options at the top change. I can choose the currency from here. You can see rupee, dollar, multiple currencies will show up. I'll choose the rupee currency over here. So when we add it to the sales figure, wherever sales has been dropped, it will show in rupee figure. So you can see even in total sales over here, it is showing in, it's converting from dollar to rupee. You can see it is showing in rupee now, 2.30 million. What else can I do over here? So I can come out on this thing. You can see on this one also it is showing rupee 2,52,612. If by any chance your comma doesn't come up, you can adjust the comma by clicking on this option. But make sure you select the field and then do it. You can adjust the decimal places, you can adjust the comma over here, you can adjust the currency over here. Same thing I can do for profit. I'll select profit over here. I will go to currency sign and I'll add a rupee currency sign over there. You'll see total profit will start showing up over here. So that is how you can adjust these things. For me, the visibility of the visual is important. So I will go to data label. Because it is overlapping a lot, I'll reduce the text size first. By the way, guys, one more add-on over here. DIN is the font size that takes least space and gives you the best clarity. So you can always use DIN. And decimal places I'll reduce a little bit so that I get better clarity on my visuals. Some fields have adjusted under the bar, some have adjusted outside the bar, depending on the spacing that they have. So this is your particular bar chart. By the way, guys, end user will not consume it in this manner. If he wants to observe a visual, he can click on the focus mode available over here. So when we click on the focus mode, you can see each and every bar chart showing the values properly over here. So focus mode is something that can be used as per his requirement. If he wants to go back to the report, he can go back to the report. Now, once we have created this bar chart, I'll go to the next part over here. So I'll take a pie chart this time. Pie chart is this visual. I'll drop it like this. Drop a category wise profit over here. So category will go in the first box. Quantitative value always goes in the second box. You can click on this visual. You can click on format painter and you can copy the entire formatting over here. When you copy the formatting, you can see the colors are showing up over here. Furniture, office supplies, and technology. Technology is showing in green color, office supplies, and all these values are showing up. You will see that the detailed labels disappeared when I copied the formatting. So in order to adjust that, I'll go to the formatting option. I'll go to detail labels over here. In the detail label, I can choose what I want to show. Currently, it is showing data value and percentage of total. I will go to the values option and I'll reduce the size over here. Text color will be black. Now you can see the detailed labels are showing up. This is our pie chart that we have over here. I'll just quickly align everything. Now, once you are done with this part, we'll go to the next thing. Over here, if you see, the next part that I have is line chart. Line chart, growing up, whenever you have seen, it is used in collaboration of time series analysis. Performance of a player over a period of time, performance of shares over a period of time, performance of a product over a period of time. Now, in the player part, overs were the time. So every time there has been some time associated with the line chart. So line chart's most common use case is time series analysis. So we'll do the same thing. I'll drop a time related thing, that is order date, on the first box. Sales being a quantitative value will go in the second box. You can see order date wise sales is coming up over here. Now what I'll do is I'll even drop profit over here. When we drop the profit, you can see two lines are coming up over here. You can copy the formatting from the top. Now when I study this visual on a focus mode, you can see two lines are coming up. Sum of sales is indicated in light blue color and sum of profit is indicated in dark blue color. If you observe this thing, you will see over here that somewhere or the other, in a real-time scenario, profit can never be more than sales. You cannot earn 1 rupee also if you sell a product for 100, right? There has to be some sort of manufacturing cost that is involved. Your profit cannot be even equal to the value that you have, made, depending on basic factors. We are not going into exceptions. Why is profit hovering above sales if you see over here? The only reason for profit to hover above sales is that we had dropped the profit in a secondary y-axis. So profit is being measured on the axis at the right, while sales is being measured on the axis at the left. That is the only reason why profit seems to appear that it is hovering above sales, but in a real-time scenario, it's not even close to sales. You can see the profit. Profit is 81,000, sales is 6,09,205. So always profit may appear. Actually, the thing is that, see, in a sale of lakhs, we earn profit in thousands. So measuring both of the units in the same scale will not be good. So if I merge these two together, take an example, you will see that I'll get a straight line of profit. There will be no change in the values. In order to study it properly, I'm dropping it in the secondary y-axis. What does this mean? That I have a better seasonality. Even the smallest of change can be observed, when I'm measuring these values as 10K over here. So every 10,000 interval, I'm measuring these values. So it is easier for us to observe in this thing. So the measuring is better, the observation is better over here is what I can say. So you can see values are coming, sum of sales, sum of profit. All these values are coming over here. Because I'm measuring on a scale of 10,000, the profit seasonality is better. While in the sales, we are going 50,000 at once. So that's the reason this is happening. Now, basic formatting options we had seen. Let us see some advanced over here. I'll go to the formatting option. You will see over here that we have grid line option. So I'll turn on the grid line. I'll increase the width over here. This is a horizontal grid line. In the same manner, we will have a vertical grid line also. We'll increase the width again over here. So these are dotted lines that we are getting over here. You can either make it slashed or dashed, or you can make it as solid also. So depending on the requirement, you can put this thing. This is your grid line that we have. Other than grid line, you have zoom slider options available. In the zoom slider, if you open up, there will be a secondary y-axis zoom slider also. You will have slider labels also coming up. But I don't want the slider labels because we don't have that much space. Now what is happening is the client is saying, Dhruv, I want to analyze the data only till 5,000. So I can zoom in till 5,000. Just by holding this axis, I can zoom until 5,000 over here. 5,000, it's not 5,000, it's 500K. And he's saying that I want to analyze data till the May of 2014. So I'll do that also. You can see now it is showing the data till May of 2014. So what I want to tell you over here is zoom slider helps me reach a certain aspect or zoom into a certain aspect on a line chart. This is your zoom slider that we have. Now, once we are done with this thing, once we have seen the zoom slider, what else can we do? You have a line option over here. So again, you can reduce the width of your line. You can go to series one by one. I can select sum of sales series and I can change the color over here. So you can see over here in the sum of series color, you can adjust the color over here. You can select the color over here in the profit also. Again, you can reduce the width in this case. So this is how we can see the sales and profit on a line chart. What else can be dropped over here? There is something called as marker, which is very interesting. Marker helps us indicate each and every day sales. So I can turn on show all series over here. I can increase the width. I can keep the marker as triangle over here. You can again increase the width and show each and every day sales, each and every year sales. This is your marker that you have. You can also change the marker color to your desired color. I'll keep it as black, take an example. So all the markers will show up in black over here. There is also an option of series label that you have over here. So depending on your requirement or depending on the values that it can show, currently if you see there is space issue, that's the reason it's not able to show, but the series that we have is sum of sales and profit. So series label will show the name of this series. This is your line chart that we have created on a particular visual. If you want, like I can see over here, there's a lot of space that is taken by the secondary y-axis zoom slider. I'll close that. You can see series label is indicating each and every series sum of profit and sum of sales. Taking a lot of space, so I'll remove that too. Now we'll go to the next visual. Now once we have done this part, I'll go to the new page. Now we are designing this particular page to get the profit analysis from the client. Aspect that is available around profit. So I'll do a profit analysis over here. Remove everything. We will take this particular page layout. I want that the layout doesn't change major. So page layout will be something that will be same in every page, most of the pages. Little bit here and there changes will be there. Obviously, this is profit analysis, so we'll try to keep that thing. If it asks for syncing of the visual, click on don't sync. Now we have total orders, total city, total profit, total sales over here. We have all the same layout. First, I'll start with profit analysis. Now over here, what we are doing is we have taken our particular bar chart. I want to show top 10 products with the highest profit. So which of our product has the highest profit? So I'll drop product name over here and on the basis of profit. Now by this we are learning the top 10 functionality also. You can see in this particular bar charts that we have, right? We have multiple products over here, right? Now the thing is that I want to limit it till top 10. How to do that? For this functionality, we'll see filter on this visual. So I'll select this visual. I will go to the filters option over here. We'll go to filter on this visual and we'll go to product name over here. In the product name, I'll go to top 10 over here. So we'll select top 10 on the basis. So first thing, how many values do you want in top? I'll say I want 10 values over here. So I'll put 1, 0, 10. Then by what value do we want the top 10? So I'll say by profit. So I'll drag and drop profit over here and click on apply filter. As soon as we do that, you can see top 10 product wise profit is coming up. I can click on the particular bar chart, right? So if I want to copy the formatting, I'll click the previous bar chart, right? Click on format painter, come to profit analysis and copy that formatting. So you can see formatting is coming. We are seeing sales by top 10 products. I can go to the format your visual, option, title, and I'll mention over here, top 10 products by profit. So we can see the top 10 over here. The next factor that I'll put over here is, now we'll do multiple visuals over here. So I'm taking a waterfall chart in this case. I'll take a waterfall chart. Now what I'll do is I'll drop subcategories. So on a waterfall chart, we'll drop subcategories. So I'll drop subcategory over here on the first box. Profit goes in the second one in the y-axis. Now you can see all the subcategories are coming up. I can click on this particular bar chart, click on format painter and I can apply the formatting over here. So you can see all the factors are coming up. If you see this factor on a focus mode, you can see that these are the contribution of each and every subcategory and this is the total contribution. Just to have a better visibility, you can reduce the data label size and you can remove the background. I think only this much will work. So you can see over here, normally waterfall chart works on the concept of showing the positive and negative contribution. Not every subcategory is earning profit for us. So you can see copiers is 56,000, This is 45,000. This is how they are contributing. And some are getting us some losses also, minus 1,000 for supplies. Bookcases is 3,000 minus, and 18,000 is for tables. That makes us the total profit of 2,86,000. So we are analyzing the profit by subcategory over here. Just to save some space, you can see even the x-axis is becoming a little big. So I'll just reduce the size so that it doesn't become very intimidating. And the font, as I mentioned, will be thin because it occupies less space. Same thing I'll do for this one also. Only thing is, in the bar chart, I'll increase the data label size. As per requirements, you can adjust your data labels and other sizes. And over here in the title, in the second waterfall chart that I've created, title I'll mention is profit by subcategory. I'm trying to add on different types of visuals so that I can show you their functionalities. Now, once we have created the top 10 products by profit and profit by subcategory, we'll go to the next part. Over here, I want to show the profit contribution over a period of time. So I'll take a visual over here. We'll take area chart over here this time. I'll drop order date over here. I'll drop profit on the y-axis. So you can see order date wise, profit is coming up. Now I will show you over here how to use drill down functionality. User can see year wise profit. He can turn on the drill down option over here. So I can turn on the drill down option. When I turn on the drill down option, I can click on a year over here. When I click on year, I can see the quarter wise analysis. Why? Because year, like date is in hierarchy. So after year comes quarter. You can see Jan quarter, April quarter, July and October quarter sales. When you select July over here, you will see 3 months inside it, July, August and September, because month was the next hierarchy. Now when you select a particular month, you can see day wise profit over here. Some losses are also being reported. You can see it is showing in negatives in that case. So this is how you can show the values over here. You can always drill up if you want to see the entire part. There is one more interesting thing that you can do. Rather than doing a drill down, one more thing I'll do over here. I'll go to the formatting option. Before starting up, I've gone to the highest level in hierarchy so that the drill up is not showing anymore. So we are on the year-wise sales. So make sure you're on the same. Go to the x-axis and make the type in the formatting itself. Go to x-axis and make the type as categorical over here. When you make the type as categorical, now don't click on this thing. Don't click on this double arrow also. Click on this expand arrow. At a time, I can show 2014 quarter-wise sales and I can show you year-wise, quarter-wise and month-wise sales. If you go further, it will show day-wise also, but it will become very cluttered. So it is advisable to show till this value. So you can see values are coming up over here, X, Y axis, right? You can always add data labels over here. You can add markers over here to show the values. You can come back to the report. This is how it will show up. Only thing is that you have to adjust the y-axis sizing. You can keep the font as thin and reduce the size. And you can do for the same for the x-axis also. This will buy you a lot of space. Also, we don't need the title over here, so you can close the title on this visual. Title of the x-axis, by the way. I'm closing the title of X and Y axis so that I can buy some space to this visual. This is how the values will show up. Now, once you have done this thing, you can do the basic formatting. So the title and everything can be done. You can go to title and you can say profit by date. Make it bold, text color white, and your background color could be dark green. You can center align this thing. So I have a profit analysis by date over here. User can hover, user can see it in focus mode depending on the requirement. Title I'll adjust a little bit. Also, we can add the visual border and shadow effect over here. So this is how this particular part works. In the last part, what I want is I want to give users some options to choose from. So I have the top 10 products. I have the profit by subcategory. The next thing that I'll do is I'll take a bar chart again. Category over here in the x-axis, subcategory over here, and product name over here, and drop sales in the y-axis over here. Now, by default, it may show you from the lowest hierarchy. So you can drill up till the point it shows nothing. Now you can see it is showing you sum of sales by category, right? Each and every category color is coming up over here, right? Now, how to use this visual? We'll go to the focus mode over here. I'll turn on the drill down option. When I select technology, I'll see the subcategories inside it. Just a second, I clicked twice. I'll show you. When I select technology, I'll see the subcategories inside it. When I select copiers, I'll see the product name inside it. These are all based on, I have mentioned sales over here. These are all based on profit. So this is how the end user can drill down the data and see category, subcategory, and profit at once at one place. So we have top end application that we saw over here. We saw a waterfall chart over here. We saw a profit by date along with this categorical hierarchy. And then we saw profit by category on the basis of drill down. So whatever best we could do analysis to show you as much functionality we have done on the profit analysis. Now we'll go to the next part. Now the sales overview and the profit analysis is created. We'll go to the next part. We'll be seeing the sheets over here. So in the profit analysis, we saw everything around the profit. In the sales overview, we saw a generic approach over here. And the welcome page, the third thing that we have is time series analysis. So we'll build everything around time over here. Again, the schema will be something that we'll take from the previous sheet. I'll copy all the cards, all the slices, everything. Control C, and I'll paste it on this particular page. If it asks you to sync the visual, don't sync. Now, once we have done this thing, the next part is we'll create some visuals on time series analysis. So first, I will start with the line chart over here. So I'll drop a line chart. I'll drop order date on the x-axis, sales on the y-axis, and the profit comes up over here. I think already we had done a proper profit analysis on a time series. So this time I'll not drop the profit, I'll only take sales over here. And in this process, again, we'll do the same thing. We'll go to the x-axis, make it categorical, do the expand option. So this is how it will show up, all the values. So you can see this is our sales over the period of time. Obviously, I'll reduce the x-axis value size and the y-axis value size so that we can save some space. So I'll reduce that. And I'll close the title over here. I'll do that same for the y-axis also. Close the title and reduce the value size. We have a better clarity on the visual. Over here, if you want, you can turn on the detail labels. You can turn on the series label over here. Sorry, not the series label. You can turn on the markers over here. This will show all the categories. In the marker, you have color option. So you can keep the color as black over here. This is how it will show up. Type, you can either keep a triangle or you can keep it as a circle. Now, once we have done this thing, the entire part over here, I will go to the general option over here. In the general option, whatever we were following. So I'll say sales by date. Make it bold. Text color will be white. Background color will be the color that we are following. I'll just copy that from the previous one. In the previous visual, I'll go to general, title, background color, more colors, and I can copy the code from here. So we can do an exchange of codes. That is pretty simple practice. So I'll come over here, go to formatting, general, title, background. You can see this is showing in recent color now. Increase the size of it and center lines thing. So this is showing you the sales by date. Now in this particular line chart, I can add further analysis. How can I do that? If you see over here at the right hand side, you have an option to add further analysis. In this particular option, what I can do is I can go to, y-axis constant line, and there are multiple options that we have available. So first one is coming as y-axis constant line. Now on my y-axis, I have quantitative value. I want to show that maybe my constant line is that if on an average what I have done calculation, I should make a sales of at least 25,000. So I want to pass a constant line of 25,000 so that I can see how many transactions are below that. So I'll pass a constant line on 25,000. I'll give it a color too. In the more colors, we have color option over here. Reduce the transparency, and I can make it as solid also. So this is a constant line that I've added. If you want, I can also turn on the data label over here. So data label at the left hand side, you can see it is showing 25,000. I can adjust the size. I can adjust where I want to show. So I have a lot of space at the right hand side. So I'll show at the right hand side, and the color I'll keep it as same. So it will show 25,000 like this. Even in this, I can adjust the value decimal places. You can see 25,000.0 is coming up, right? If I make it as 0, it will show like this. So this is how it will show up. This is our y-axis constant line. In the similar manner, you can add a min line also. Min line is an automated line. It will automatically pass from the minimum value over here. So if you see, if I turn it on, I can turn on the data label. And line color can be adjusted. Because it's a min line, I'll keep it as red and I'll reduce the transparency. We can keep it as solid. Again, do you want to show the value over here at the left hand side or at the right hand side? Also, I've reduced the width of the line because it should not be very intimidating as it is in red color. Width can be reduced for the other lines also. Y-axis constant line also we can reduce. That's it. Now over here in the min line, I will go to the data label and I'll make it at the right so that visibility is better. You can see over here 451.89 is the value that is there, and I'll keep it in red so that it is recognizable that it is a midline figure. These are all statistical options that will make the data study easier for the end user. Same way I can add the max line over here. If I turn on the max line, it will pass from the maximum value as the name suggests. You can turn on the data label. You can go to the data label. Do you want to show above or under? Under will show properly. So we are choosing under. And because it's a max line, I'll choose the green shade over here because this is a maximum color. And even the line color, I'll reduce the width. I'll make it solid. And the line color that we'll keep over here is green. So this is how your max line will show up. It will pass from the maximum value over here. So this will be helpful for the understanding of the end user. They'll be able to take better decision. They'll be able to understand it properly. So this is your min line, max line, and one of the lines that I've added over here, that is a y-axis constant line. So this is how we can show the values over here. In future, end user can filter out the data. He can choose 2014 and see it accordingly, 2015, 16 and 17. So it will be helpful for him to do a proper data study over here. So proper data study is something that will be easy for him. You can go to General, FX, turn on Visual Border and Shadow Effects over here. So over a period of time, this is the analysis that we have done for sales. What else can we do over here? I can add one more visual over here called a waterfall chart. This will be also very helpful if I want to do proper analysis. I will drop year over here. So from the order date hierarchy, I can open this thing and I'll drop year in the x-axis and I'll drop sales over here in the y-axis and I'll drop category over here in the legend. So this is something that is of good insight. As a visual, it will give you great insights over here. Formatting, you can copy from this visual. You can even turn on the data labels and everything. So if I see this particular visual on a proper focus mode, this is how it is showing up. Just one thing more, in the data label, I'll adjust the values. So I'll keep it as display unit 1000. And this will make more sense now. Up over here, if you see, when I hover on this particular part, in 2014, category sales, that is technology, is showing as 1,75,000. Normally, it is doing you, like it's giving you a trend for 2014, 15, 16, and also giving you a position and percentage change. First, see this thing. Orange stands for technology. In 2014, technology is at the first position. It is ranking in a proper manner, 175, 157, 151. Same way over here, 170, 162, 137, 226, 198, 183, 271, 246, 215. So proper ranking is given over here. Now in 2014, technology sales was 175. In 2015, it became 1,62,000. So it has reduced. So if you hover on this partner, it will show that 2014 sales was 175. In 2015, it became 162. Sales has reduced by 12,497, minus 7.13% loss we have got. Rank has gone from first position to second position. One rank has gone downward. So this much information this particular visual is providing us. Same way if you come over here, 2014 157, right? 2015 170. Rank has gone up by 13,325. And the position has gone from second position to first position. One rank has gone upward. So that is how this particular visual works over here. This is your ribbon chart. It shows you the percentage change. It is showing us the trend. It is showing us the ranking. So a lot of answers are being given over here on the basis of category. If you feel like I'm feeling that way, that if we are getting a lot of repetitions of category or we are seeing that a lot, I can use something else. So instead of category, if I drop over here, take an example, segment. Segment seems constant, right? You can see values are not changing that drastically. I'm just giving a try on the go over here. Maybe we can drop region over here. Let us see if that gives sound. Region giving a little bit of changes over here. So we are seeing sales by region. Over here, I'll change the title. I'll go to general title and I'll say sales by year and region. I'll just check one more thing, the data label size. Can we fit it over here? I think some values are fitting up because of space issue. Not all the values we can accommodate over here. We have to give justice to the above visual also. It is of importance. So over here, whatever space we have, Obviously, end user will be seeing it in focus mode, so you don't need to worry. Given a line chart over here for sales by date, then we have sales by year and region over here. Now, once we have done this thing, once we have created this part, I will drop other values over here. So for this one, what we'll do is the visual that I'll be taking up is our particular matrix. In the matrix, I'll drop order date in the rows. I'll drop sales in the values. It's similar to your pivot table in Excel. Profit will go in the values. We can drop segment over here on the columns. Now, if you see this particular visual in focus mode, I will not keep the totals of the column over here to save some space. Now, over here, you can see 2014 consumer segment contribution. You can see corporate segment contribution for sum of sales and profit, sum of sales and profit. If he further opens this thing, it will be showing him quarter-wise. If he further opens this thing, it will be showing him month-wise. If he further opens this thing, he'll be seeing the day-wise sales. So this is your segment-wise contribution for each and every category. Here you can do some formatting. Column headers, I'll make it as bold. Text color, I'll keep it as white. And background color, I'll keep it as the green shade that we are following. Values, if you want, you can make them a little bold and increase their size. Come back to the report, little bit adjustment I'll do over here to try accommodate all things. Spacing will be an important factor over here. Visibility, clarity, spacing, all these factors contribute to your successful report creation. So we have to be a little cautious on that thing. Even the row headers have to be reduced. And you can see over here, we have all the values coming up properly. As mentioned before, end user will be consuming all the data on the focus mode, so you don't need to worry much on the clarity. It will be visible properly. And when he do expand, values will also show properly over here. So this is our particular part. We have created a time series analysis. I can rename this thing as time series analysis. We'll go to the next sheet now. Now we'll take a map visual over here, right? I'll drop city in the location part. And sales will drop in the bubble size. You can see that when I drop the values over here, they have become very cluttered. All the values are becoming very cluttered over here. How to fix this thing? We will apply a filter on this visual. So I'll go to filter on this visual. I'll go to city over here and I'll go to a top N over here. In top N, I'll do a 10 over here. By what value? By sales. When I click on apply filter, you can see only top 10 cities are showing up over here. When I go back to the report, we are seeing top 10 city sales. Now over here, if you see, I'm seeing the top 10 city sales. I'll drop legend also over here. So for the legend, I'll drop category. As soon as we drop category over here, if we just turn on some parts on the formatting, I'll turn on the category label. So you can see Seattle as a city, and in that city, what is the contribution for each and every category? Furniture, technology, office supplies. Each and every contribution is being shown. So initially we were seeing Seattle city sales. Bubble size was dependent on the more the sales, the bigger the bubble. Now what is happening is we are also seeing that bubble got converted into a pie chart and we are seeing category-wise contribution from each and every city. So this is one of the reports that, like one of the visuals that we can create. I'll quickly fix the view over here. In the formatting option, you can turn on the category label. You can even adjust the, map settings. You can keep the style as Arial. You can keep the style as dark. You can keep it as light. Depending on the requirement, you can keep it as grayscale, and you can keep it as. So that is how the entire thing works. You can add controls for the user. He can zoom and he can do a lasso over here. Zoom will help him zoom in into the data. Because this is a road, it will show the roads. Lasso will help him highlight a certain part. So if he wants to highlight only the right part, you can see left part got a little less highlighted. And even the figures at the top will change. If you want to bring it to normal, click on somewhere blank, you'll be back to normal. This is your sum of sales by city and category is what it is showing. I'll say sales by city and category, and I'll say over here top 10. Now once we have done this thing, we'll go to the next part. Because I'm talking about region-wise analysis, so I'll add as much maps as possible over here and try to do some analysis mostly on the region part. So the next map that I'll do over here is a filled map. Filled map and shape map, as I mentioned before, have to be turned on. So there is one setting that you have to do initially. Go to File, go to Option and Settings, and under Options. So File, Option and Settings, and go under Options. In the option part, go to Security, use ARGS for Power BI, and use Map and Filled Map. One more thing we can do over here is in the preview feature. In the preview feature, you will see Use Shape Map Visual. You have to turn this on. This feature will require you to restart, so you can save your file and reopen it again. So turn on Shape Map Visual in the preview feature, and in the security feature, turn on these two options. Use ARGS, use Map and Filled Map. You have to be connected to internet to make use of map because it will connect with the Bing. Once you have done this thing, it will ask you to restart your Power BI. You can restart it. Now this is your city-wise sales that we were getting over here. What else can we do? I'll just adjust the sizing. You can adjust the legend also. So legend, you can keep it as top, center, and text size you can reduce to save some space. Always, whenever you're reducing the size, you can always keep it at thin, and the clarity will be better. Now I'm getting the city-wise sales by top 10. Now we'll go to the next map over here. So the next map that we have over here is a filled map. A completely different use case will be discussed over here. I'll take a filled map over here. I'll drop state in the location. Now in this one, legend makes a lot of sense. So I'll drop region in the legend. So I can see the regional distribution of each and every. So of states over here, you can see regional distribution. So region-wise distribution I'm doing, and I can drop over here so there is no option, by the way, guys, to drop sales and profit. So we'll drop the option in tooltip. Normally, when you hover on the visual, the white box that comes up is called a tooltip. So over here, if I want to add any value, I can drag and drop it in the tooltip. So I'll drop sales in the tooltip, I'll drop profit in the tooltip, and I'll drop quantity over here. Now, when you hover on a state, you can see the region, you can see the sum of sales, you can see quantity, and you can see the profit over here. So whichever state you'll hover, you'll get the values. Over here in the map settings, you can adjust the map. If you want an aerial view, you can keep it as an aerial. If you want a light view, you can keep light. If you want a grayscale, you can keep it as a grayscale. Controls, as I mentioned before, you can add up over here. Legend, fill colors, you can decide the colors for each and every region. So over here, I can give a different color to this region. East region, I can give it a light blue. And South region, I can give it West region, we can give it a different color. This is how the regions will show up. Now, once we have done this thing, we'll go to the next part. Just one more thing, I'll adjust the title. You can see title is coming very complex over here. Sales quantity, sales quantity, and profit by state and region. Saving some space on that part. Text color white, background color will be given as. I'll just copy from here. Just give me a second. Background color will be given as green. You can even add the border and shadow effect. In the effects only, you'll get the visual border and the shadow effect. Now, once we have created these two visuals, we'll go to the next part. So one is showing me city-wise sales, top 10 city-wise sales. Other one is showing me the regional distribution along with state, along with the sales, profit, and quantity. Third one over here is a shape map. Shape map is the preview feature visual that we had turned on. So I'll drop it over here. In the shape map, what I'll do is I'll drop sales in the first box. Sorry, in sales in the color saturation, and state will go in the first box. So the region or the states with higher sales will be coming in dark blue color, and the places with lesser sales will be coming in light blue color. I can copy the formatting over here. I go to the formatting option again. There is an option of fill color. I want to give a proper conditional formatting. So I'll turn on the gradient over here. I'll say minimum sales should be showing in red. A little greater should be showing in yellow. Red has to be a little less, a little lighter. And the highest sales should be shown in green. So this way we can mark our best performing units. So you can see they have given the minimum, maximum, and the center position. You can adjust accordingly. So this is your state-wise. What I can do is now I'm just dropping a table just for reference. I'll drop a table over here, state-wise sales. Now when I sort it in a proper order, you can see maximum are around 4,57,000 and it is going from 1 lakh. Minimum is around 1,000, right? Approximately 1,000. So I'll keep the middle point as around 50,000. Let us see what is the point that are set up over here. They have automatically decided. So minimum they have given as 919. Center position has been given as 2,29,000, right? So we'll keep it as 50,000 over here, center position. And minimum will be obviously 900. Maximum could be your particular color over here. That is something above 1,20,000. Now you can see we have better areas, right? You can see there is a better division. So anything above 120 I have given over here. I'll keep it a little less. I'll keep it as 1 lakh only. So you can see the values are coming up. Center position is for 50,000 and minimum is for 900. You can see the values are coming accordingly. So anything around red is 900 values. Anything above than that is the other values. We can keep the shade a little darker, a little more. Yellow color could be kept a little dark yellow so that it is showing properly. And green we have, right? So this way we will be able to get the values over here, that how is the factor getting affected. And we can take actions that what states are the concerning one. Once I have created this thing, so these are the formatting options. You have map settings, mostly the projections and all these options are available. I don't need to do anything major over here. That is set by default. Let it be like that. This is your last map that we have seen. This is your shape map. One more thing I'll do over here is I want to give a drill down to the end user. So in this particular case, what I'll do is I will take a shape like a tree map over here. In the tree map, I'll drop state. So I'll drop the hierarchy. I'll drop state. I'll drop region. And I'll drop country at the top and city over here. In the values, I'll drop sales over here. If I want, I can show the profit and quantity in the details. I think that will trigger a lot of things. Keep it like this. So now, if you go on the focus mode and analyze this thing, you can turn on the drill down. When you select the state, you will see when you select a country, you'll see the states inside it. When you select a state, you will see the region inside it. This is a little messed up. Let me just put it at the top. Now it is working. So if we go again, when I select a country, I'll see the region inside it. When I select a region, I'll see the states inside it. When I select a state, I'll see the cities inside it. This will give a proper approach to the end user for the region-wise analysis. Again, you can copy the format painter and I'll apply it over here. In the formatting option, you can turn on data label and you can increase the size a little bit. So this is it regarding the region-wise analysis. So in the welcome page, you can see over here, we have the region-wise analysis. I'll name it as region-wise analysis. Region-wise analysis. This is how it will show up. We'll keep it till here. Now we'll go to the next sheet. Now we'll go to the next part. The next page that we are designing is a customer analysis page. So I will take all the cards over here, all the slices. We'll copy the same layout. A little bit changes are expected on this page. So I'll paste this thing over here. Click on Don't Sync. So I have total orders, total cities on this page. Instead of total cities, I'll drop total customers over here because I have region-wise analysis. So I cut this thing and I'll drop the total customer. So in this case, I'll drop the customer ID and select. So when I drop the customer ID, it's a string. It will show you the first customer ID. We'll select count distinct over here. So this will give us the count of customer ID. Go to formatting, go to general, go to title. And I'll say total customers over here. Reduce the font size a little bit. Because this page is serving customers, so we'll have total customers at the top. In the region-wise analysis, total cities make sense. In the time series analysis, I'm not making any change over here. I don't want anything as structured. On the profit analysis, I think profit is already shown. On the sales analysis, sales is shown. If you want in time series, you can drop the days over here. And so over here, there are around 1461 that is coming up, right? So approximately we have 2014, 15, 16 and 17 data. So this is how it should come up, right? So this will give me the total days. I'm just doing a basic change over here. Total days that my business has operated. So we have done a basic calculation. What is coming is approximately 4 years of data over here. Now, once we have done this thing, I'll go to the next part. Now, over here, we were talking about the customer analysis. So I'll do the same. I will drop the bar chart over here. We'll drop customer names and sales over here. And also compare the profit. So I'll take a clustered bar chart over here, clustered column chart. Because multiple customers may come up, so I'll do a top N over here. I'll click on this option and I'll say top N. Top 10 customers. On the basis of what? On the basis of sales this time. When I click on apply filter, this is how it will show up. So you can see that this is a very good observation that on our top 10 customers, Sean Miller, right, has the highest sales, but he's giving a loss to us, right? You could see this is coming up. So this could be a good observation on this particular part. You can compare the profit. So you can change as per the business requirement. Either you can sort it on the basis of sales or say, profit. I'll copy the formatting of the card over here. Adjust the title. We'll remove the sum off over here. I'll say sales and profit by customer name. And we'll reduce the size over here. Adding some data labels to show the values. So I added some data labels to show the values. This is how it is showing up. If you want, you can keep the orientation as vertical. And you can increase the value size. Now this is showing us top 10 customer sales. What else can we do on the customer wise? So I will drop this particular part. This is the funnel chart that we are using. Again, a new visual. In this part, what I'll do is I'll drop segment. And I'll drop sales over here. So we are seeing that what is the segment contribution. So you can see over here, consumer contribution is 100%. That is 11,61,000. Then you can see over here, what is the contribution in comparison to consumer. Corporate is just 60% of it. We are considering the first contribution as 100% and giving the percentile over here. Same way, in comparison to consumer, home office is 36.99%. And there are two percentages that are coming, percentage of first and percentage of previous. So if you're standing in a line, compare yourself from the first person in line and compare yourself from the person just ahead you. So we have percentage of first and percentage of previous. I will select this thing, click on the format painter over here. Again, the data label size can be adjusted. So you can go to category label, reduce the size over here. And you can go to the value size and reduce the size to 9 over here. So that value comes up properly. So this is our sum of sales by segment. I'll just adjust the title also. I'll say sales by segment. Now what else can we do over here? I can have an entire table over here. In this particular table, I can drop the order ID. I can drop the customer name. I can drop the products that he has bought along with the sales, profit, and quantity. The sum of quantity that is coming up at the top now, I can change the name of that also. So I can go over here and change the name. This will not change the field name. So I can mention it as quantity. Double click on this thing, I can mention it as profit. And double click on this thing and name it as sales. So we have sales, profit, and quantity coming up over here. Formatting, you can do the same. You can select this thing. You can select the column headers, make it bold. Text color is white and background color is green. So this brings us to the part, right? We have a page over here that we have designed for customer analysis. Now, one more thing I can do is the client may require a detailed customer analysis where he picks up one customer at a time and wants to do analysis on the same. How to create something like this? Now, I've taken an example. I'll pick a customer. I want a detailed analysis page for that customer. In this particular part, drill through comes into picture. How to do something like that? I can take a generic page. So I'll copy this page design. Control C, take a new page and paste it over here using Control V. Click on Don't Sync. So we have the date, we have the category, region and segment, total orders, total customers, and all these details. I'll remove the total customers over here. Logo also I'll remove because I need space, and this is not a normal page, this is a detailed analysis page. So we'll reduce the cart sizes a little bit to save some space. Align it over here. Instead of dropping the order ID, I'll drop the city name over here. So when we drop city over here, it will show me, sorry, not the city name, sorry. I'll drop the customer name over here. So we'll take the customer over here, drop it. It will show me the customer name. For now, it is showing me the first customer name in the data. Let it be. I'll name the title as selected customer. So we have the total orders, we have the total quantity, profit, sales. Now I'll just control click and align all these cards. I'll go to format, align, distribute horizontally. So all the alignment is done over here. We'll go to format, align, distribute vertically. Now once we have done this thing, right, I'll take a bar chart over here. Now, because we are talking about that particular customer analysis, so I'll tell them what product did he bought as per sales, product name as per sales. Currently, it will not show you the best possible interpretation, but when one user will be selected, it will show that particular part. So that customer's product name by sales. Then we can show what type of ship mode is he preferring, or what type of ship mode are being used to deliver that product. One customer may have multiple ship modes being used. So I'll take a pie chart over here. It will show the contribution of ship modes by profit. I'm doing it completely on impromptu basis, and we may change it in the coming part depending on the requirement. When I'm copying the formatting, format painter detail labels size has increased, so I'll adjust that also. And we'll show a detailed list of all the transactions that are done by him. So I'll go to order ID, the date of order, only the date. So we currently, if you see, hierarchy is coming up, right? I'll remove the date hierarchy and select order date. That's it. And I'll drop again ship date over here and remove the hierarchy. So we are getting order date and ship date. What is the sales that he made? What is the profit that we made? What is the quantity sold? If any discount offered, I'll drop the discount also over here. I think that will be more than enough for this part. If you want, you can show the city also in the same sales. I think I've missed out the customer name. I'll drop the customer name also, which is an important part. Formatting of the table we'll copy from the previous one. So I'll click on Format Painter and apply it over here. That's it. Once I've done this thing, I have to make this page a drill through. This page is a detailed customer analysis page. It should not be something that should open directly. It should be opening for one customer at a time. So I'll say detailed customer analysis. That's the name of the page. You have the customer name, order ID, city. I think I missed out the segment. I should have the segment also over here to show to the end user. That makes sense. Same thing we'll do over here. I'll remove the sum of sales to save some space and then name it as sales only. Same this one. Quantity. This will save some space over here. We can have values properly. Quantity I'll rename as QTY only. That will again give me some space. You want to show as much information possible in the given space. So that's the reason I'm not leaving even single space. Now, once I have done this thing, in order to make this page drill through, now what is the field that I have thought about over here? The field that will make this page drill through is customer name. So in order to do that, you will see, so click on somewhere blank, you will see add drill through field here option will come up. In add drill through field option, you will drop the customer name over here. So we have the customer name. I'll drag and drop it over here. As soon as you do that, you will see a drill through option will come at the extreme left. You can align this thing, minimize it a little bit. So this is how the drill through screen will show up. Now, if you go to customer analysis, I've taken example, I'm taking Sean Miller over here, right click, you'll see drill through option is there, right? So you have to just right click on the bar, do a drill through. When you go to a detailed customer analysis, you will see only his analysis. What is the mode of shipment used? What is his analysis order ID? These are the segments that he is working at. What are the cities that he has ordered from? What is the order date and ship date? What is the sales profit quantity and discount over here? So this way I can see his total orders, his particular name, quantity sold, profit made, sales happened. All these details can be shown up over here. So this is how the entire part works over here. I hope you're clear with this thing. Ship mode is showing as diamond class also has been used over here, though we cannot see it very clearly in this particular part. So I'll do one thing, I'll take a bar chart over here. So you can see that there is a ship mode also that is there. So this is your ship mode over here. You can change the names over here. I don't want the sum of to come up. It should be properly professional. So we'll say sales by product name, and this one will be profit by ship mode. So this is it for the entire part. We have created the drill through page. Now I don't want the end user to see this drill through page. So I'll hide this thing. End user will come to the drill through page only by selecting something. You can do it from the customer name also over here. So you can do a drill through by that part. So if I select Dennis, take an example, I can right click on the name and do a drill through over here. Only for this transaction, you will have a proper drill through coming up. So that is how you can do a detailed analysis. This is it for this part. We'll go to the next part now.
Now we'll be starting up with basic DAX function. So I'll be taking a table over here. In this particular table, we will be doing some basic DAX application. So I'll increase the size of it. We'll drop category in it. I will be doing a little bit formatting on this part. So I'll adjust the column headers, make the text color as white and background color as green. Increase the font size a little bit so that the visibility is better. I'll make the values as bold, increase the font size of the values. You can see everything is adjusted. I'll just make the table a little better. Now post this, I will be creating a new measure. So in the home tab, you'll see there is an option of new measure. We'll click on new measure over here. Once I click on new measure, I'll increase the size also so that the visibility is better for you guys. So I can control click and scroll that thing. I'll write over here sum sales. Sum sales is the name of the measure. So name can be anything, but I've named it as sum sales. Function that we are using is sum. Sum is used to sum the values. So sum will normally ask what column do you want the sum for. So I'll say order sales. First the table name comes up, then the column. So sales is what we are summing in the sum sales function. As soon as you click on enter, it will come at the right hand side. So you can drag from the right hand side, you can see sum sales. I can drag and drop it on this particular table. I'll get category wise sum sales over here. You can see the values are coming up properly, right? So category wise sum sales. There is no context. The same sum sales can work on every context. That is how it works. Now, once we have created this basic function of sum sales, you will also observe that measure doesn't occupy any space in the model because it's a measure, it's not a calculated column. So because it is a measure, it's just a written formula. Now I'll create a new measure over here. We'll be writing another basic measure over here. So whenever you click, you have to remove the measure name and write your own. I'll write over here, total orders received. So for total orders, we'll do a count. Count is generally used to count the values. So count will ask what column you want to count, I'll say ID. When I write ID, suggestion will come up. You have to always choose from the suggestion that is available. So I'll say count of order ID. I'll close the suggestion and click on enter. Total orders will come at the right hand side. I'll drag and drop it towards the left. You can see the total orders is coming up over here. So this is giving me the count over here. If I want to create a new measure, I'll again click on new measure option. Now this was a basic count. This was not counting duplicate, like this was considering duplicate values. I want to get the count which doesn't have duplicate values in it. So for this case, what I'll do is I'll write a total orders, that is total final orders. And this time, rather than doing a count, we'll do a distinct count over here. So distinct count of what? Distinct count I'll select over here of ID. So when I write out ID over there, it will give me a suggestion of orders ID. So I'll select orders order ID. I'll close the bracket, click on enter. You will see at the right hand side, total final orders will start popping up. I can drag and drop it. Now we are getting the actual orders. You could see that the granularity in our data, right, was product wise. Now we are getting no duplications of order IDs are coming. So this is the actual final order without any duplication. Total orders had duplication. Total final orders doesn't have duplication in it. We'll go to next measure now. We'll click on new measure. I'll write over here an average. AVG is equal to, and the function that we are using is average. Average will just ask the value that you want the average of. We'll say order sales. Click on enter. As soon as you click on enter, it will come at the right hand side. You can drag and drop the average over here towards the left. So you're getting the average of order sales over here. So this function is specifically telling us the average of order sales over here. After creating this measure, we'll go to a new measure over here. So these are basic measures, count, sum, average. So I'll click on new measure. This time we will be calculating most probably we'll be calculating how to do a ratio over here. So in the ratio part, what we'll be seeing is how to divide two values. So I'll say ratio is equal to, we'll take the existing measure sum sales and I'll divide it by total final orders that we created. So this is just a ratio, don't go into the technicality. This is just to show you how to divide two values. So you can see at the right hand side, ratio will pop up. I'll drop it over here. Now the problem with slash operation is that it doesn't have the ability to handle zero. If by any chance I substitute the total final orders with zero over here, it will result to infinity as an answer. So the fault tolerance is not good in this case. So in order to make the fault tolerance better, we will drop over here total final orders and we will create a divide function over here. So divide has a better fault tolerance. It is also called as safe divide function. So I'll write over here ratio 1 is equal to, and we'll write divide function. So we'll say divide. Divide is a direct function. It will ask me for the numerator and denominator. In numerator, I'll put sum sales, comma, we'll put a comma over here and the denominator, that is total final orders. Also, you'll observe that after the comma, I have the option to put the total final, like alternate result over here. Alternate result means if you had, like it has a safe divide function, it has an ability to handle zero. So if you come across zero, what do you want me to print? So I can say over here, one of the value is zero. So this sort of error statement can be printed over here so that if user gets into a fault, he knows that what is the error coming up. So divide has a function, or divide has an alternate result associated to it. You'll see when I click on enter over here, when I click on enter and drop this value, it will give me similar answer. So when I drop ratio 1 on the table itself, it will give me same answer over here. Same answer is coming up. The only difference that you'll face is when zero comes up. So if I drop a zero instead of total final orders, it will print one of the value is zero. So it's not resulting the answer as infinity, but it is giving me a better fault tolerance to this option. So that is how you use a safe divide function. Now we'll take a new measure over here. We are using a mult function over here to multiply the values in order to show you simple multiplication. So I'll take the sum sales over here, multiply with total orders. So you can see over here, we are multiplying two values. This is a way by which you can multiply two measures in your particular Power BI. So I'll drop the mult. I'll get a multiplication between sum sales and total orders over here. So we have seen basic sum, average, multiplication, division, right? Distinct count. Now we'll go to the next part. In this measure, what we will do is I'm trying to calculate only furniture sales. So I'm trying to calculate sales for only furniture category. So we'll see how to apply filters in measure. So I'll go to home, click on new measure, and we'll see only furn sales this time. So furniture sales using filter function. So I'll say furn sales is equal to, now we will use calculate over here. Calculate is a container that is used to apply a filter. It's like a box in which you will write the filter. So calculate generally ask what expression do you want to apply filter on. So in that case, I'll say I want to apply a filter on sum sales. I'll put sum sales over there. After that, comma marks the starting of the filter condition. So I'll write filter over here. Filter will normally ask you first for the table name. So if you observe over here at the bottom, it is asking you for the table name. So I'll put table name as orders, and then it will ask you for the expression. So I'll say orders, comma, filter expression. Filter expression is category should be equal to furniture. So I'll say orders category is equal to, in double quotes, I'll put furniture. So this way it will filter out the data and only give me this total sales for the furniture category. As soon as I click on enter, it will come at the right hand side. I'll drag it towards the table. You can see over here. Just a second. Yeah, I'm getting category wise furniture sales over here. So this is giving us only furniture sales. So we can apply filter again and again. Now I'll write another measure so that you can get more understanding of filter. So I'll click on new measure. Now what we are calculating over here is furniture sales for the year 2014. Now what we are calculating over here is furniture sales for corporate segment. So in this one, I'll say calculate furniture sales. I already have the furniture sales. I use that thing and I'll apply a filter on it. I know that I want the filter on the table orders, and the column that I'll be using is segment. So I'll say segment is equal to corporate over here. So I'll put a comma over here, and in the condition I'll say segment is equal to corporate. So we have written a calculate function. Measure is applied on furniture sales, comma marks the starting of the filter condition, then the table name, and then I'll say segment is equal to corporate. So as soon as I write corporate, it will give me only corporate segment sales for the furniture category. So I'm applying a filter on an existing filter. It will come at the right hand side. I can drag and drop it over here. Yeah, I'll drop it. I think it is, there's some issue. Let me just check. So if I drop the segment, I had converted the corporate into corporate segment. So I have to write the entire condition. So that was a problem coming up. In the filter condition, I have to write corporate segment. So in this case, what I'll do, I'll go to this part and just not write corporate, I'll write corporate segment. Then it will be able to recognize better. So now when I drop this thing, I'm getting corporate segment sales. So the name was an issue. I had added segment, if you remember, in the Power Query. So that same value is coming up over here. Now I'll click on the new measure. Over here, I'll remove the existing one and I'll write fern sales for 2014. So this is giving you 2014 sales. I'll write calculate. Already I have fern sales, so I'll apply filter on that. So I'll say calculate and I'll apply the filter on the fern sales, comma, filter, comma marks the starting of the filter condition. Then I'll put the table name, that is orders. Now I don't have the year column with me. So I'll use a function over here, year. Year will extract year out of my order date. Sorry, I have the order year column with me. So I'll use the order year and I'll apply filter on that. It will give me year sales for 2014. If I didn't had order date column, I would have done it directly. So I have the order year is equal to 2014. Again, I'll click on new measure. We'll calculate fern sales for year 2015 over here. I'll say is equal to calculate. Calculate container, we'll use the existing fern sales, comma, filter, table name is orders, comma, I'll write the filter condition over here. Now I have the order year, I'll use that order year is equal to 2015. So this way I'll get the furniture sales for the year 2015. We can drag it over here. I have the 2014 and the 2015 sales next to each other. Using this, I will calculate the growth over here. So I'll say growth is equal to Fern 2K15 minus furniture sales 2014. So Fern sales 2015 minus Fern sales 2014. We will get the growth over here. I can drag and drop the growth over here. Using this particular growth, we will calculate a year-on-year growth. So I'll write a new measure. I will name this measure as YOY. YOY is equal to growth divided by Fern 2K14 or Fern sales 2014. We'll click on enter. This will give us the year on year. Now, once you have created the year on year, you can drag it. At the top, you will see a percentage sign coming up. So what we will do, we will click on percentage over here and naming it. I'll also rename it as YOY percent and click on the percentage sign. As soon as you click on the percentage sign, it gets multiplied by 100 and there will be a percentage sign coming up. So you can see at the top, there is a percentage sign. Values will get multiplied by 100 and the percentage sign will come up. I'll just click on it again. 8.48% is your YOY percent over here. So these were some basic applications along with filters that we have seen over here. Okay, now in this particular video, we will be looking into how to publish this particular report. So I'll come to the welcome page. I'll go to home. Okay, these are all the pages we have sales overview over here, and I'll click on the publish option. Okay, so you have to click on the publish option. Make sure that your Power BI is signed in. It will ask you to save your report. You can save the report accordingly. After clicking on saving the report, it will ask you which particular workspace will you publish on. My workspace is the practice workspace that will pop up in your particular Power BI services account. This is something that is available by default. So I'll be selecting my workspace over here. There are multiple workspaces that are available, but my workspace is what you'll choose. Okay. It will start publishing. You can see this particular thing is getting published. It will take a minute. We'll wait. Will take a minute. Now you can see there is a link coming up. We'll click on this link, open. This particular link will come up for the opening the report. It will ask you for your particular account that you're using for accessing your Power BI services, and the report will open on the cloud account. Okay. So now you can see this particular report is opening up on the cloud account of Power BI. You can see this is the dashboard. This is the report that we had created. We have all the pages coming at the left-hand side. Welcome page is there. You have customer analysis, region-wise analysis. All these pages are coming up and all the values inside them. It's completely interactive. Okay, so you can see all the values drill through every application you can do over here. The pages that were hidden will not be visible. So detailed customer analysis we had hidden, so client will not be able to see it. You can drill through, you can come back. Over here we can see we have created the welcome page. We created a welcome page, we had navigation, we created a sales overview page where we saw the analysis. This is the welcome page with all the navigation, the sales overview page. We created a profit analysis over there, okay, a time series analysis which was showing detailed time series data over there. We created line chart and analysis. We created region-wise analysis using Power Map. We created visuals on customer analysis. All these factors we saw over here, okay. This was all about your report creation. Thank you.